a Beasley Media Group station.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics entered the All-Star break with an easy win last night, 124-105 over Chicago at TD Garden. Peyton Pritchard scored 26 points, and Nikola Vucevic added 19 to go with 11 rebounds for his new team.
Helped a lot. Finally have some time to go through stuff, a little more detailed, have more reps. That always helps. Before that, I had walked through with the coaches, like a shoot around.
Celtics have a record of 35-19 at the break. They begin a West Coast road trip against Golden State a week from tonight. Jaylen Brown will start in the All-Star game this Sunday in L.A. Ron Harper Jr. is scheduled to participate in the Rising Stars competition for the G League team. Cooper Flagg was supposed to play in the Rising Stars game, but has a mid-foot sprain that will keep him out of the event. Charlie McAvoy and the U.S. Olympic hockey team play Latvia at 3:10 p.m. Eastern time today in their first game of the preliminary round. David Pastrnak will leave Czechia against Canada at 10:40. And the Red Sox are continuing workouts for pitchers and catchers in Fort Myers. The team announced that after undergoing Tommy John surgery last August, Tanner Houck will begin throwing next week. He's hoping to come back by September, and there is still no timetable on the return of Tristan Casas from a ruptured patella tendon. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off a drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
The Sports Hub. Three legendary franchises on one legendary radio station. It's the Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah. Boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Demonic.
Uh-oh.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy, Town Fair Tire Studios. 617-779-0985 is the phone number. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Downloaded the show anywhere you download things. I think U.S. men's hockey is on at 6:40 today.
U.S. men play at 3:10 this afternoon.
No, I shouldn't said U.S. I think that Olympic hockey is
Yes.
on at 6:40.
France and Switzerland, 6:40.
So we finally the Olympics pays off and we get to something. I've yet to see one thing in the Olympics.
No, 6:10. It's going to be on very soon, apparently. So,
Nicholas!
yes.
Nicholas! Get in here!
I don't know what channel it's on, but
It's probably on Peacock, which we don't get.
it could be USA. I think that's where the U.S. game is on.
Oh, Nicholas. Oh, Nicholas, figure it out, Nicholas. Nicholas, figure it out. It is on USA. That's alpine skiing, but maybe hit the guide. Hit the guide. Hitting the guide. Move over to see what it says. Oh, no. No. What else? What other properties does NBC own?
CNBC? Could be CNBC. Could be TNT.
That's Squawk Box.
It's not it. No.
That's about the market. I don't need that this early.
Could be USA. Could be TNT. Could be anything. I don't know.
Is TNT? I don't think TNT is
TBS. I don't know.
I don't think that's a property.
No.
I'll figure it out.
806. All right, just call me back.
I'll call you back.
Yeah, you'll
call
call
you
you back. Nick! I need you for something else. This might be a beaten thing, though, as long as you're in here doing stuff. All right.
Okay. Wait, back. I'm trying to find it.
Oh, okay.
It's all
Well,
on
can John and I
Peacock.
talk about something while you look on your computer?
I think you have to stream it live on Peacock. I think that's this game anyway. I'm just some quick research has revealed that.
They think that alpine skiing's better than hockey at 6:40 in the morning, huh?
Apparently.
Nicholas, put on USA just to see. Oh, put on NBC. It's probably not an NBC. Try NBC.
Nick, you left this computer thing mid-task. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Nick. Nick.
What channel?
And try NBC first.
But now it's just blue over here, Nick.
Oh, no.
Well, okay, so that's not it. Go to just USA.
USA.
Nick, now this is all gray.
It's just alpine skiing. I don't know why they think we'd rather watch alpine skiing.
No, but watch.
It's kind of like car racing, Fred. You watch it for the crashes.
Oh, no. That's not nice. I don't watch it for the...
Oh, you don't watch it at all. That's...
Nicholas, go investigate, Nicholas. See if we can get Peacock on the TV. I have a Peacock membership.
Oh, there you go.
I do too.
And a Peacock.
I'm sorry.
Nah, it's all right. Doesn't bother me. I don't have to deal with it.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. Hardy played these. Okay. Hardy played this squares thing.
Yeah.
For the Super Bowl. And it was this big, like $100,000 squares thing. Mm-hmm. Where, you don't win $100,000 necessarily, but you can win a portion of the $100,000. And Hardy won, and he's wondering, like, when am I going to get my money back?
Oh, yeah.
So he says, like, when am I going to get paid? And his friend who told him about the squares said it's customary to give 20% back to the guy who runs the squares.
What a racket that is.
Well, yeah, it's ludicrous.
My God. Really?
Like, good luck being a bookie with a 20% VIG.
Oh, my God.
20%. So the guy would make, based on the amount of money in the pool, the guy would make $80,000.
Yeah, because
he
runs several of them.
He would make $80,000.
Why is it customary to give money to this guy?
Okay, so much like Steve Martin in My Blue Heaven, I don't believe in tipping. I believe in over-tipping.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm the over-tipper, right? But to me, over-tipping is winning like $2,000 at a on a video poker machine and tipping out $100.
Sure.
Or maybe even $200. In the moment, you've got stacks of $100 bills in your hand when they're paying you out. Here, take a couple hundred for yourself. I'm feeling it. But this thing, there is, and I understand there's work involved in putting it together, but say you won one of the big squares. And this is the first year I've done it, and not even really in it. I'm in it as like, half of squares
Sure.
that some other guy is in. You can win with the reverse score. You can win if you subtract a point for the first two quarters. There's bigger payouts for the half and for the end of game. Every pool that I've ever run is just an equal amount for each quarter. That's it. No reverses, no nonsense.
I would say 99% of pools are that way.
Right.
Yes.
But this, these pools have a way where you have a much better chance of winning not just your money back, but, winning something. So, all right, that's cool. That's fine. But it's still like a significant layout of money to get in. And I would think that if you won, the tipping would be optional. And maybe 10% would be plenty.
Even 10 is crazy.
I think
considering the money involved.
I think 10 is healthy.
Well, then he makes $40,000 for running a bunch of pools. I mean, that's,
Right.
Or squares, and it's for one game. So, an entire season, you might go, all right, give the guy 10%. He kept this going for a few months. It was very labor intensive of him, all those things. But I'll tell you, with the amount of work he did, $40,000 is a pretty substantial I mean, and it's not like at least a bookie, if they lose, has to go out of their own pocket to pay. This guy's just rearranging the money and reappropriating the money based on who wins.
But he has to go find the people that want to be in the squares, and that's tough because, as you know, people don't like to gamble. And it's very difficult to find people who are willing to wager money on the Super Bowl.
That's why it's just such a pain in the ass to get involved in any of that stuff, and I stopped a long time ago. Like, it just... People are ridiculous. 20%.
Jesus.
The guy said that to you with seriousness, too. I'd be so embarrassed to tell you 20%. I'd just pay the 20% myself rather than tell someone they owed 20%. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I can't believe we're not getting this hockey game. I was kind of getting riled up. I was kind of getting excited. I thought we would be able to see Olympic hockey. I was finally going to see some. Now it's just dumb alpine skiing.
Do you want to see what's on the Golf Channel? Because sometimes they'll re-rack tournaments from, maybe Europe and stuff from over the weekend.
No, because it was it was the Waste Management Open, and I don't care for what that does.
Oh, yeah.
It lacks class.
Obviously, you didn't care. You didn't even stick around for the playoff between Goddard and Matsuyama.
Someone called a show I was listening to, a national show, and talked about how much better the ending of the golf tournament was than the Super Bowl.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, and they were saying...
we were at that point, I had not yet gone home to watch the game and, by myself because I really wanted to watch. I was still at my neighbor's house. And there was one person who wanted us to turn it over to the pregame. For what? Because I thought we were getting kicked at 6:30. When did the Super Bowl finally kick off?
6:40 something.
It was
late.
It was late, right?
Very late. Yes.
So it's like 6:20, 6:25. It's like, hey, they're starting to roll the players out and stuff. It's like, so what? Well, everyone else was watching the golf tournament because it was good. It came down to a guy essentially choking it a little bit and another guy playing well, and that was. It's like it's like any sport, and I think we're all in the same boat here. Even if you're not really into it, you understand the inherent drama and the suspense of watching something unfold like that. Even if you don't care about the people, whoa, this is real life happening here.
Keegan Bradley at the Travelers, for example, perfect ending to a great tournament, right?
I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember? Okay. I thought
yeah. With the with the approach
I
and the
remember
putt,
that.
the 9-iron that he stuck. That thing landed like a butterfly with sore feet.
Thank you.
And then Drano, baby.
Benedict Arnold to Keegan Bradley.
Well, did you fix it, Nick? Yeah. Did you find the hockey game for Fred?
We have
I found it on my TV, on my computer.
It says here the NBC Sports app on the television. If we can get that.
I found the game on the computer.
Okay, so you can watch it there.
Switzerland's up 1-0 on France
already.
It's shocking.
Just started.
Well, there seems to be a talent discrepancy. I would guess.
Okay.
Top 5 favorite French hockey players of all time. Go.
Well, you can't count French Canadians. They have to be from France.
France.
I have no idea. I couldn't even give you one.
Jean Ricard. Pepe Lebinowitz. You understand? His name was Pepe, but also Lebinowitz.
Yeah, that's where the comedy comes.
I don't understand how. I don't know if it's a demerit for Nicholas to not be able to find it, but it is something. It is something.
It reflects poorly on him.
It certainly does.
For as much TV as that kid watches, you'd think he would have the schedule memorized.
But he never puts it on because he's always at the bar, when he's watching it.
Mm-hmm.
He knows the ESPN2 lineup by heart because that's what's always playing on the screen.
That's how he learned how to read. It's from being at bars.
Nick, take a seat. The Price is Right is on.
You're just like your father.
Remember the good times? Being at the bar. Being at the bar at 11 a.m. You would be figuring out the Price is Right. How much is a can of coffee? You're over, dummy. Now we're restrained.
I wonder if like those shows ruin it for people if they have like some bad connection to them. Because when I was 10 in bar, I was obviously just starting out because I was very young, and I would get the crap shifts. I'd get a lot of day shifts in the middle of the week, and even though we were supposed to have ESPN on one of the TVs, it was just, you come into open and just whatever was on the night before. So it would be the Price is Right. And we had regulars who would come in there and like drink during the day. I wonder what it's like for them to like go home and see the Price is Right on TV when they're not at the bar. Does that remind them of being at the bar?
Oh, yeah.
Hogan's
in the AM and thinking, oh God, the last time this was on, I was getting hammered on a Wednesday.
Well, the people at Hogan's Run were never home. So when we worked in Brighton, Hogan's Run was a full-on dive bar. Like, in some ways, arguably the most dive bar I've ever been to in my entire life, including like Detroit before the resurgence of Detroit. Like, it was like they had a fake kitchen. It's not around anymore, but they had a fake kitchen because you had to have a kitchen. And so they had like a vent on the side of it, but there was nothing in the kitchen. I told you that two bartenders, they said, hey, we're going out basically to get drugs. Can you bartend? And they put me behind the bar. So Electric Larry was one of the bartenders, and he had to ride his bike to work. And so about once a month, he'd come in all cut up because he'd smashed his bike into something. And
was it a Harley? Was it a Softail?
Oh yeah, sure. It was if those had pedals. So he I don't think. I think the reason he was riding the bike would eliminate him for riding the motorcycle.
Anything that required a license.
Yes, and so we would go in there, not often, but we would go in there, like, say, once or twice a year after the show, like, because of something. We were celebrating something or someone was in town. And you would go in there, and it was crowded. It was more crowded at 11 in the morning than it would be at 11 o'clock at night, because I lived right by there, too, so I was in there at 11 o'clock at night sometimes. And it was all these guys that were third shift dudes. Apparently in Brighton, behind Hogan's Run, there used to be factories.
Right along the highway, yeah.
And these guys would be third shifters in the highway, in the factories, and they would retire, so they would keep the same schedule. So they would come into the bar, and their like night was 11 in the morning or whatever, and they would sit there drinking and watching Married with Children and Price is Right. I told you the first time I was at my friend Jason's house, I had left Detroit and I came back to Detroit, and we were 21 and we went to this bar, or 22, and we went to this bar, Ye Old Saloon in Royal Oak. And we were in there, and it ended up like turning into like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, does this bar ever close? And they're just lining up Boilermakers, getting them ready. And I'd never seen it before, and I've never seen it since. And like, what was it, like 5 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning, like this whole crew of dudes comes in, and they just start downing Boilermakers because they were third shift guys. So Ye Old Saloon stayed open, 24 hours a day, I guess. They just stayed open because they get such a huge morning crowd.
Real quick, were they off shift then, or was that their lunch break?
They were off shift.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure there was people in Ye Old like us, and there were people in, there was a certain guy that had some kind of affiliation to sports that was in there in a suit because he just drank there every morning. So there was that aspect of it. I'm sure not everyone was getting off work, but at that Ye Old Saloon, it was a whole situation. They got third shifters. In fact, Riff used to do a thing with the overnight guy, apparently, where he did third shift parties, where he got off the overnight shift. He would go like to bars, and like Riff would have him out at bars at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Jeez.
And he would bring strippers and stuff. That's right. Yeah, a little schism for your jism. Yeah, tool. All right. When we come back, maybe Nicholas can find out about this confounding situation.
2-0 now. 2-0.
It's not much of a game.
No.
France isn't so great.
Talent discrepancy, yes.
Yeah, France isn't so great.
Yeah.
So we will have for you the Celtics game plus some ex-Steelers talking very poorly about Ben Roethlisberger. We'll have that for you in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers has been...
obviously YD. Okay?
Dutcher and Hardy, mornings on the Sports Hub.
Did you catch the game last night?
We are Toucher and Hardy. Nicholas is efforting to get us Peacock on this television so we can watch Olympic hockey as it is on live. And I have yet to see 1 minute of the Winter Olympics, and this is a big deal.
Yeah, come on, Nick. It said now it's on that app screen.
Nicholas! We don't want Philo or BritBox. No, Nick! Nicholas! Where? Where are you going?
Get out!
You broke it. Wait a second, it broke it. You broke it. Now it's going crazy.
Why are you sitting over there?
Because what's happening is he's gone not so crazy.
He was standing in front of the TV. He only has to sit over here.
I don't like that he's sitting over there.
I don't like that floating cursor that he's using on the TV.
He's too far away. Why is he so far away from the TV? No wonder it's called you really do make it the boob tube. You know? Why'd you put NBC and you went Peacock?
Yeah, what
are you doing? Put in Peacock. You said that you have a Nick. Nick says he gets Peacock for free.
How you get it for
there
free,
it is.
Nick?
It's up there, Nick. Nick, it's already up there. There, right there, Nicholas.
I hate this cursor.
Well, listen, it hates you. It's not for people. Like
There it is.
There. Oop.
Does your stroke make it more difficult to operate that cursor and that remote from that distance?
Install it, Nick. Hit install. You want to install it?
He's got it.
Oh, ooh, that went fast.
That was very quick.
Nicholas,
launch it,
Nick. Now, Nick has launched Peacock, and it shows the Olympic rings. That's what we want. Oh, Peacock. Why won't Peacock open, Nick? Nick!
Pick a plan, Nick.
No, don't pick a plan. No, don't
sign
confuse him. Sign in.
You got to sign in.
Oh, yeah, sign the QR code. Get your phone out. Nicholas! Nicholas, scan that QR code, Nicholas. Okay. Can you do it from back there, or do you have to get closer?
Nick, you might have to get closer.
That would suck if he had to get up and walk over there.
Nick, get closer.
He says he has it.
Well, I don't see.
He says he has it.
I don't see any hockey on that.
I
TV.
don't either. But you know what? I trust Nick. I trust Nick to get this done.
Well, as soon as Nick gets hockey up there, then we'll all give him a pat on the back. But until that time, I remain skeptical.
Look at those thighs.
Nick, don't let him objectify you.
I know that's wrong. You can't ogle him.
Nick has to spell. Leave him be. He's got to spell. What? Hold on. What? Why?
Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on.
What are you doing?
Still 2-0, Fred.
What do you? I don't really care about the score.
Midway through the first period.
Okay, Johnny. I don't really care about the score. I'm more interested in Nick getting this thing up.
Hey, look at that.
Nick's avatar is a dinosaur.
It's a T-Rex.
Because Nick loves dinosaurs.
And you'll note that his wife does not have a profile because she's busy working.
Woman, you don't get to watch nothing. Oh, no, Nick. No.
Not
no,
Shrek.
no. Now go right. No, go to the side and go to where it's the rings. That's Olympic rings. I can't see the rings. They're under the arrow. Under, right there. Click that. Small. Yeah, click that. Click Olympics. That spells Olympics. Okay, now go down. Go down.
Hockey. No,
Right there. Right there.
Yes.
Yeah, click that. Okay, here we go.
We got the spinning circle.
Nicholas, why is that circle spinning, Nicholas? Okay.
Yay! Nicely done, Nicholas.
And what the best thing is that's going to drive Zolak crazy because he won't be able to see himself on TV.
I know. That's the best part of all of this.
That's right.
He's going to look up and not see himself.
Oh, you don't think he's going to want to watch international hockey? Zoe gets in here. You can't shut him up again about the Bruins or the Celtics, especially the Red Sox. So, yeah, he's all into this.
He wouldn't we wouldn't put the TV. We would turn the monitor off. I don't know how they watch themselves on TV while they're doing it.
There's a little bit of a delay, right?
Yeah, but not only that, it's like I don't want to see it. Like that's so distracting. It's incredibly distracting to see yourself. That's why I never watch the YouTube thing, among other reasons.
You know what? And this is what bothers me, and I have a whole list of things that I like and don't like about the Kelly Ripa show that she does with her husband, which we have on in here sometimes in the morning. You will see her sitting on her little stool there, and
she sits on stool.
This has been going on for years. You can see her looking down, and she's looking at herself in the monitor more than she's looking into the camera.
Oh, really?
She spends.
Well, she's sitting in stool.
On
the
stool.
Yeah, whose?
Like a chair, like a stool. That
Someone made on a chair.
Yeah.
Nice.
Talented.
You see it on OnlyFans? Huh? All right.
Celtics played last night.
Yeah, you better bet your bottom dollar they did.
Yep. Taking on the Chicago Bulls. Solid team.
Johnny, take it from here.
What do you want to know?
Well, Vucevic, which
Vucevic.
I'm calling him Vucevic.
Go ahead.
Until he corrects me himself.
All right.
There's quite a collection of bad old Celtics on this team, this Chicago team, if you go by what's going on here. The Chicago star laden. I will tell you that. A lot of stars on Chicago.
Gershon Yabusele, their starting center. He looks about 350 pounds. That guy. He's enormous. Gershon Yabusele.
Not been staying in game shape. You're saying?
Well, he's obviously in some kind of shape. He can play NBA basketball, but no.
Well, Hot Plate Williams wasn't that.
No. Hot Plate has him, but not by much.
Was Yabusele? Was he fat when he was on the Celtics?
Not this big, to my memory.
They got to get a better training staff in there.
Yeah.
Patrick Williams, he's a real good player.
Not really.
How about Matas Buzelis?
He is probably their best young player. Matas Buzelis.
I know who Colin Sexton is. I know who Anthony Simons is. Obviously, I'm no stranger to him. A little bit of, and I know who Jaden Ivey is, who doesn't even start for Chicago. All right, very good. He was the 3rd or 4th pick in the draft and didn't turn out to.
That kid Dillingham off the bench was a former top 10 overall pick a couple of years ago.
I'll have to see if that's true.
Okay.
Well, you mentioned Anthony Simons.
Yeah, he was an 8th pick. 8th pick, the end of the lottery. Come on.
Did
Kid
he
out of Kentucky, don't care.
Anthony Simons showing up to play against his former team last night. And
diagonally for Colin. Sexton bounce entry, Yabusele all alone, catches. Keita comes late, so it kicks out to Williams, swung around to Simons for 3. And suddenly the ovation is so big for Anthony Simons. Got a big ovation when he was introduced in the starting lineup. Now it's like, uh-oh.
That may have been the last time Chicago had the lead last night. That made it 10-9.
And that was the only 3 Simons hit all night.
Oh,
so
yeah, well, he's going up against the Vooch.
Jalen trying to go the distance. Bulls get back defensively. Vucevic swings to Pritchard left side against Ivey. Right-hand dribble. Pritchard shovels it in deep. Vucevic turns. This jump hook is good over Richards.
He likes that. Going off the left shoulder then the southpaw away.
Yes.
Vooch.
Everything you just said. Jordan Walsh with a good game last night as the Celtics got out in front early and stayed there.
And Vooch taps the rebound ahead of Derek White. Vooch looking really comfortable now. 19 points, 8 rebounds, lead from Derek White to Jordan Walsh for 3. Timeout, Billy Donovan, but to say what?
Let's go home. All-Star game.
It was 72-44 at the half.
Yeah, this was all Celtics all night long, 124-105. So they win 6 out of their last 7 heading into the All-Star break. The one really bad loss, to my recollection, happened on a day when nobody was watching them anyway.
Super Bowl Sunday to the Knicks. Yeah.
So no one even cared that you lost that one. And instead, Joe Mazzulla, happy with the way the team is playing going into the break and happy with his new player.
He values the details and wants to get it right. So, he's put a lot of preparation into it and, looked much better tonight.
And the Vooch says he's getting more comfortable the last practice that he had. He said things started gel for him. Now he's getting it. He's feeling it.
Vooch, 19 points, 11 rebounds in 26 minutes. He is going to help this team, especially in the playoffs. Decent defensive player, very good offensive player, can shoot threes. It was a very, very good trade, and it kind of got lost in the fact that the Celtics are doing everything they possibly could to get under that luxury tax line. That was more the story after the trade deadline. But Vucevic is going to be a really good player for them.
I heard Felger going off about this. It must have been yesterday.
You are like a P1, my friend. You are locked into that thing.
No, I had it on.
Not making fun of you. I'm just saying that you seem to hear a lot of it. That's good.
Well, because a lot of it sticks in my craw when he says, no one is talking about the Celtics. We're just doing this to get under the luxury cap or it's not the apron. What do they call it?
It's a luxury tax line. There's a luxury tax line. There's a first apron and a second apron.
Yeah, there's aprons.
Okay.
Yes, they are aprons.
There was another term that they were using yesterday.
Well,
I said, listen to Wallach. Wallach was the first one to call this out, like the morning after it happened. He said, this is not about making the team better. This is about getting yourself out of any kind of financial situation you don't want to be in.
If I had you had to guess what I came upon on Instagram of someone, it was from the station account, someone walking and talking about how misguided and stupid that opinion was. Who would you guess it was? It was from the station account. And it was someone walking and talking, and it was far too long, and it was very haughty about how dumb everyone was.
Don Darrow.
No, the station wouldn't put that out.
Oh.
No, it's someone who the station would have put it out, and they're walking and talking. So that eliminates pretty much anyone with a show. So, one of those dumb walking and talkings, like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you walking and talking stupid? And then, like, looking around.
It's not Barth.
No.
Is it McCarthy?
No.
Someone who doesn't have a show.
They don't have a show, but who do you think it would be? Oh, you guys are bugging me. It's Sean Grandy.
Oh.
Sean Grandy
the
sent
station put something out with Grandy on it?
So Grandy apparently told them to put this out.
Interesting.
And Grandy made a video of him walking and talking, which is, of course, just so aggravating. When people, I don't know why people do that. Just sit down. Like, why are you walking and talking?
Thank you.
Like that whole, and then you look around. Oh, and someone did that first, and then everyone went, oh, that's what you do. Well, anyway, Grandy made a big video about how they're playing four-dimensional chess, and that everyone's really dumb that thinks that they're just trying to save money, and that this is how you build a team, and da-da-da-da-da. So,
look around and find out.
So I think the real P1 of Felger and Maz is Grandy, who probably gets up around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then he turns on Felger and Maz, and it aggravates him.
Yes.
And then he brings that into the broadcast.
Yes. They've been doing that for a while. Maxwell especially. Max is not a big fan.
Yeah, but at least Max would say it. Max would go like, Felger's an idiot.
Yes, he has, and many times he has.
He doesn't go, people are saying
on the air,
like everyone's saying.
No, he'll say the actual name of the person as opposed to
the clowns on morning shows.
Yeah,
right.
Like I won't dignify it with a name.
That guy on the morning show.
Yeah, that guy in the morning show with your crying. Yeah, my bad. With your self-serving crying at the end of the season.
I love you, and I think you know that.
Yeah, that was his goodbye. That never wasn't really a goodbye. And then he goes,
"Thank you.
That's nonsense." And you're like, "No, it's not. That still bothers me. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. No. It's absolutely true. Why wouldn't you just say it's true? It's just so much easier. Just go, yeah, I thought that was my last broadcast. Thought it was a good chance it was my last broadcast. I got emotional. Instead of just denying it. It's not even bad. I don't forget it. I can't even begin to know why you would deny it. What's wrong with thinking it's your last broadcast? All right, it didn't happen. It didn't work out. Now I'm back. You still got your job. Nothing bad happened. You just, they'd won the championship. I thought it was my last broadcast. I got emotional. This job means a lot to me. And it turned out that, that things don't always go as planned. And then, and I'm very glad to be back. I mean, this is definitely not a fallback option. There you go. That's all. That's not so hard. But I don't. There's something in some people where they can't do that. They can't just say,
Maybe could you at least accept into the realm of possibility that he was just very emotional after a big Celtics championship win?
Based on the meetings
nice.
that John and I had about him possibly not being on the show ananymore, I was guessing that maybe that wasn't the case. John was in them. Were you not, Jonathan?
I was in them.
Yeah, so I'm not making it up.
I forgot about those.
I was. If you want to take me to court, Exhibit A is John and Rick.
I was.
We can all
present.
We can all
refer to the minutes of the meeting where we were talking about who would replace John on the show.
It's 3 against 1. I have witnesses. All right, very good. We will be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy.
yesterday about what the Red Sox have in store for us as pitchers and catchers are there. Some position players have reported as well. Getting ready for the season. Do you need somebody who can get out there and go yard for you, hit some home runs there? Are you going to get one, Craig?
Guys like Roman and Willie being healthy for full seasons. Look, we may have someone who hits over 20 home runs. We may not. Ultimately, we need to win more games.
Yeah, ultimately. But by the way,
home runs can help you win games.
Fangraphs has the Red Sox winning tied for the second amount of games in baseball behind the Dodgers. Correct?
I think the Phillies have one more, but the point is still there.
Okay.
One of the better
fair
records
enough.
in Major League Baseball.
They have been winning 90 games, and they have that being the third most wins in baseball. Better than Seattle? The same as Toronto?
Yes, they have them in Toronto finishing with 90 wins, tied for the American League East lead.
Which, obviously it's a flawless system, and I would imagine that it's never been wrong, but that seems, I guess they just love their starting pitching, and they do have good starting pitching.
They have really, really good starting pitching. Now, there are some inherent flaws in the bullpen. You know, they need a lefty in the bullpen other than Aroldis Chapman. They need people to get to him, but hey, give them credit. They spent money. They spent money on a really good starting pitcher who is your number 2 starter, and Garrett Crochet is one of the best 5 pitchers in Major League Baseball. The only weakness that you can see is they have zero pop. They don't have a guy who can hit third and get you 35 homers.
John, they tried to spend money on offense.
Don't think it's much of a secret. We pursued opportunities to bring in, slug, and when those didn't play out.
What's slug?
So I think slugging percentage. Knowing Breslow and the way he speaks, I think he means slugging percentage.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's how he said it?
Yeah.
We try to bring in slug.
To bring in, slug, and when those didn't play out, we kind of looked at other opportunities to improve the team. And that said, we're talking about a large majority of a team coming back that was, a top 10 offensive team in baseball.
So is Roman Anthony going to DH?
I've seen it 2 different ways. I've seen Anthony and left and Duran as the DH, and I've seen the reverse of that.
So they're going to take the kid, the $1 million kid, the $100 million kid, the biggest prospect, and they're going to make him a DH.
I think it's going to be a lot like last year where you have 4 outfielders for 3 spots.
They couldn't trade Duran. They didn't want to do it.
According to Breslow, they didn't want to. That was the difference. Rafael and Abreu are Gold Glovers. That's center field and right field for you. The question is who plays left.
That.
So,
yes. But you would think that you would get rid of Duran. He's not young. You figure that you have a young guy that you would get rid of that piece.
And you know what? I would DH Duran as much as possible. Anyone who watched that team last year knows he is awkward as hell in left. He's a center fielder who can't play left field. So, well, he can, but he's not the best fielder in left. Your best lineup is Roman Anthony in left. So if I'm the Red Sox, you DH that guy.
Well, overall, Craig, what's the plan? What's the plan?
We have ambitious goals, and I think the fan base in Boston rightfully demands that the Red Sox are kind of World Series or bust teams. We're a super competitive front office, a very competitive coaching staff and player group. So that's where we've got our sights set every year.
They're going to win a lot of games. They're going to try, and Cora said it in his introductory press conference, they're going to try and win games 3-1 and 4-2. And for those people who would say, "Oh no, you just keep it moving, keep the lineup moving," the one thing power gives you is an easy way to get runs. You don't have to have 3 hits in an inning to score a run. That's what you're stuck with the Red Sox lineup.
They might be more fun to watch.
Oh, sure. And you got some speed there, too. So Anthony can steal a base. Obviously, Duran can steal a base. I mean,
but I agree with you, Fred. In terms of just like a product, I'd rather watch, a team that's getting hits and getting on base as opposed to hitting home runs or striking out.
Well, more than that, I'd like to watch a team with solid starting pitching, because just if you go to a game and there's a solid starting pitcher on, things move along faster. It's much more entertaining to watch a game with a dominant starting pitcher than it is to watch some clown show where they pull a guy after 3 2/3 and then start rotating relievers in every 3 batters. Like it's just it's
torturous.
Well, also part of baseball is the dominant starting pitcher that people seem to have gotten away from. And, they're thinking about putting rules in that you have to, your starter has to go 6, or there's penalties and things like that. Or you got to keep them in. And I mean, that's one of the good things about baseball. Pitchers should be stars. When pitchers aren't stars, that's a big problem.
It's interesting the way the Red Sox have kind of built this team. It's the anti-current trend in Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball is launch angles and strikeouts and homers. Red Sox are the opposite of that. And Fred, you're right. 3-4 pitchers a game is the way that Major League Baseball has gone. Red Sox have 4 guys who should be able to go 6 innings at the very least. I don't know about this guy Oviedo they got from Pittsburgh who's going to be their 5th starter, but those top 4 guys, Suarez, Crochet, Suarez, Bayo, and Gray, not necessarily in that order, should be able to all go 6 for you. So,
why would Gray pitch behind Bayo?
I don't
like
call
that,
it
John.
fast enough. Sorry. Gray and then Bayo.
By the way,
I'm
the
sorry.
Red Sox
Fred
depth
doesn't
chart,
like that because he told us from the jump that Gray was your number 2 guy. He's number 2. He's number 2 pitcher.
Well, he would. Well, I didn't say he was number 1. I said he's number 2.
Well, there was, hey, look out for number 1. Just don't step in number 2. Thornton
Or
Miller.
do.
He said that in a commencement address, which I think was inappropriate.
No, you can lighten up nowadays. You can swear.
But this was 30 years ago.
Drop in a joke or two.
Politicians
Keep
are
interested.
swearing during hearings and everything.
on.
Everyone's swearing the night away. We're the only people who can't swear anymore.
Swearing at victory parades. We're swearing all over the place.
We're like legitimately the last bastion of people that aren't allowed to swear.
That's a good point.
Oh yeah.
Have you
Everywhere
heard?
else.
Have you heard any politician, just about any politician being interviewed? They're all swearing. They're all swearing. They're putting swears in media posts. And believe me, this is not partisan. This is everyone's like acting like tough now because everyone's got to like.
Well, everyone's starting to believe this thing that popped up online a couple of years ago that said people who swear tend to be more believable. It is looked upon as like an honest, forthcoming person.
Oh, that's interesting.
If you allow yourself to swear freely in front of people that maybe you're not that familiar with, like, oh, this guy's being real.
Oh, that's probably why.
Yeah.
I thought it was just because rhetoric had gotten so high, and so like kind of to compete with that rhetoric.
No, because sometimes you hear it from people and it doesn't sound natural coming out of their mouth.
Now, I am a big proponent of swearing. Believe me, I swear constantly. But I did like it when there was a third rail. I do think that there are some positions where you probably shouldn't be swearing. And if you do swear, it's like, oh, my God. Like when a nice Catholic mom gets so fed up, she finally swears. Like she hasn't sworn in like 5 years. Like, the S has hit the fan. Like that's like in certain positions.
Maybe she's wearing sneakers and a ball cap. Yeah,
sure,
a bit more.
Yeah. Loose, maybe her man's T-shirt, loose, faded shirt.
Right. Maybe a flannel.
Yeah, over the shirt.
Oh.
No, we don't mean to objectify flat-chested women with hats. All right, very good. We're doing.
We're going to a concert on Friday night, and Marcy said, "I don't have anything cool to wear." I said, "Yes, you do." And I went into her closet, and she doesn't. She's got all like nice grown-up clothes, but she had one flannel shirt.
Oh,
I said, "Wear this." She said, "Robert, I'm not wearing that." I'm like, "Please? How about just right now? How about wear it for 10 minutes?"
Hello, the spark is still there.
Yeah.
You know what my son went and bought yesterday because he's going to a country concert tonight because he likes awful music?
If he bought a hat or boots.
Okay, he bought a hat, didn't he?
No, he bought dungarees because he has a friend who's Canadian who said that if we're going to this concert, you need to have a pair of dungarees.
Yeah, you can't wear Viore.
Because he did not, he just wears sweats. And so he's like, you got to wear dungarees. Because I do not own a pair of dungarees.
I'm wearing jeans today for the first time in maybe 6 months.
My son does not own a pair of dungarees. I do not own a pair of dungarees.
No, this is my last pair. I got rid of the other ones. You got me off the jeans, and I've never been happier. But today, it just felt right.
The last pair of jeans I owned were Gerbeau. That's how long ago I
Come
owned
on.
jeans. Swear to God.
You haven't worn jeans.
Tight roll those suckers or what?
Yeah.
You haven't even owned jeans since the Maritain Francois Jabot days?
That's absolutely. I swear to God. Why would I lie?
That was 90s.
Yes.
An IOU sweatshirt.
No, I didn't have those. I was a little bit better than that. Not much, but I was a little bit better.
Nick, do a deep Google image dive. I want a photo of Fred Toucher wearing jeans sometime in the last 26 years.
You will not find me wearing jeans in the last 26 years. When we come back, you will find a guy who wears jeans to bed. We will have that for you in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Ooh, that.
If you'd like to talk to Blackie Lawless from Wasp, he will be on. Who's older than Nikki Sixx, because Nikki Sixx was in Wasp for a moment.
It's got to be such an easy show to book as a producer. No one ever says no.
Oh, you don't think Blackie Lawless is playful? He used to throw raw meat out into the crowd.
That's right.
They were a big PMRC thing. So Eddie Trunk has this show. It's on Drive Time. It goes around the world. What does he talk about? Hard rock and heavy metal. Well, there's no hard rock and heavy metal bands really anymore. Don't matter.
Doesn't matter.
All right. So there's this thing. Now, this has been overdone, so I don't mean to just add on to the pile, but everyone's talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I know everyone out there's got their own opinions, and I know it can be really divisive, and this is a unifying show. But I mean, his thing is what's up with all the hip hop and the non-rock? It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. Now, he has nothing against hip hop and pop and R&B, but why would that keep certain bands out? Right? It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the biggest honor anyone can get. You know, because at least half the people show up to get it. Every kid gets into a band with their eyes eventually being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That's the goal. Much like baseball players, that's the pinnacle. Same thing for anybody who's just banging on the drums or learning guitar. I want to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Money, fame, and girls, distant,
inconsequential.
Right. It's like when I'm 60, I want to get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I want to go to Cleveland. That's right.
Well, they don't even do it in Cleveland anymore. It'd be cooler if they did.
Yeah.
We looked it up the last time we were talking about it. I think they go back and forth now. They actually do some of the ceremonies.
Joe Perry talked about inducting someone into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or when they were inducted, and they were in New York City. So I don't know when they're ever in Cleveland. Cleveland was who agreed to build it and put it downtown.
Well, they have the space.
I was in a hotel that was directly next to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because I was going to a Jets-Browns game, and me and my friend never went into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I could have walked there in less than 5 minutes.
There's like right up the street.
There's a little BCN area in there, isn't there?
Yeah, Oedipus is in there.
Well, Arthur P's in there too.
That's right.
Arthur P's in there.
Wow.
Baby. All right, so Eddie Trunk. Now, this only happens about once a week.
But we managed to find it anyway.
So he will talk about, and now he devoted a full show into Rock and Roll Hall of Fame snubs. Good luck, getting through. Because we all have our opinions. So these are clips from that show with the band censored out. Now, John and I are the ones who have not heard these clips.
Yeah.
Hardy has heard them.
What's Eddie Trunk talking about? Oh, yeah.
You have to understand this could conceivably be heard on what? In 40 million more cars than we could?
Yeah.
Just based on the way it's delivered?
The reach, of course.
So this is what's going on in Afternoon Drive on Sirius Satellite Radio on what used to be the Opie and Anthony channel, and they gave Opie and Anthony a lot of money. Here is what.
And now they've given it all to Eddie Trunk.
Yeah, Eddie Trunk and Sam Roberts, the old interns from Opie and Anthony,
Yeah.
and there you go. All right, here we go.
For me?
Yeah. This is for him personally.
Yes.
So excuse him. It's just an opinion.
For me, I'm going to give you my 5 here that I just ripped off the top of my head before we go to the phones. I'm going to start in the number 5 slot for me.
All right, so this is the band that should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Correct.
And this is an entity that he keeps in high regard. So who is the band?
I've said it many, many times. I don't understand fully if the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is truly a global view or an American-only view.
Okay, that's a hint.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Is it Sepultura from South America?
Excellent guess.
So it is an international band, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
If you're looking at it from a global view, it's insane is not there. If you're looking at it from an American lens only, you can still make a case for not nearly as big in America, but a hugely influential band, was a master songwriter, and I believe they should be there and should have been there a long time ago.
Okay, I'm going to take a wild guess. Is it T-Rex? Is it more obscure than T-Rex?
No.
No.
And it's hard rock and heavy metal, obviously, because it's Eddie Trunk.
It's hard rock.
It's a hard rock band.
Yeah.
An internationally influential hard rock band.
But I would say a lot of people, when they heard them, had no idea they were international. They sound very American.
Triumph.
That's Canadian, right? Oh, that was going to be my guess.
Not Triumph.
You stole my guess.
Would you like the country of origin?
Yes.
Ireland.
Oh.
Thin Lizzy.
Ah, there we go. You know how they got the name Thin Lizzy?
I don't.
It's a takeoff on the Irish accent and how you would say Tin Lizzy when you're talking about an old car. But if you were saying Thin Lizzy with an Irish accent, you would say Tin Lizzy.
All right. Thin Lizzy.
Well done. Go. All right,
well
so
done, Fred.
Number 5 position for Eddie Trunk.
That's kept me up a lot of nights.
Thin Lizzy not being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Absolutely.
Hey, if that chick don't want to know, forget her.
It's going to be a jailbreak. All right, here we go.
At number 3, a band for me that I really started to see what an enormous snub they were, having worked with them a lot in the last couple years especially.
All right, so Eddie's gotten deep in the trenches with these guys. You know, and he's
extensively.
And they're advertising one of his events on the station, the Shred Off, which is an air guitar shredding contest. So
is it air or is it actual?
No, it's air guitar.
I think that's right.
Yes, it is
air guitar shred off. Yep.
Yeah, so you bring in like a fake air guitar, and then you do that. Gene Simmons used to brag that he wanted to sell a Kiss air guitar with air guitar strings. So it was a guitar case where you opened it up and there was literally nothing in it except a package of strings with no strings in it, because it was air guitar and an air guitar strings.
Actually surprised they didn't do that.
That'll be $600.
Yeah, on brand.
$600. What planet are you on? Sorry, $3,000.
Oops.
And that's now have a history that is over 55 years old.
Oh, so they've been around for a while. And Eddie's been Wasp because of Blackie Lawless?
Not Wasp.
If you go see live now, they still sound amazing. They still do it all live. They still have 2 key members in the lineup with
2 key members. They still have 2 key members.
There was a bit of controversy here. I left those 2 key members in, and Hardy said, no, bleep them out, because Hardy said he was able to get this off of one of the members of the band. I thought they were pretty obscure, but apparently not.
Okay.
In their history, they've had a ton of hits, a ton of commercial success, a lot of influence.
I think I know.
Oh.
And a lot of diversity in their music, if you really listen to it.
Yeah, okay, so this is like Paul Simon, who worked with the African bands, right?
Lady Blacksmith Mambazo.
Lady Smith Black Mambazo?
Sorry,
Are you guessing Paul Simon or Lady Smith Black Mambazo?
Well, the combination of the two, just for Graceland alone.
You're wrong on both.
Oh. I think I know who it is.
Everything from ballads, power ballads, hard rock.
Wow, that describes, like, look what the Cat dragged in with Poison. Very few bands can go ballads, power ballads, and hard rock.
Yeah.
except for every 80s band.
That was required to have all three on every album.
Absolutely. You had to have a ballad, a power ballad, and then the rest could be hard rock.
Yeah.
Progressive rock. There's a huge progressive element to what is done.
Well, it's not Yes, because Yes got to be in there.
And then they check all the boxes on commercial success and hits as well. And yes,
you think it's over, but he's just taking a breath.
Thank God is still with us.
Oh, wait, let me get back here because I want to be able to have gratitude.
And yes, thank God is still with us. Even though he's not in the band anymore. This has to happen. When you consider Journey is now in, Foreigner is now in, bands that the Hall of Fame and others have branded, quote unquote, corporate rock, whatever the hell that means.
He's not done. He's still got time.
It's ridiculous it's not there. They deserve to be there. They should be there. And I think that's got to happen sooner than later. Again, we don't want these guys, like we've seen a billion times, finally getting in, and they're so incapacitated or elderly that they can't play or even be there.
I mean, it's happened a billion times, and it really is a tragedy. These guys are too incapacitated often to do the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They're at least they could freeze the brains and maybe put them, when AI gets us there, and put them in some kind of AI body so they could get the reward.
Now, before you guess, would you like a hint and just a little sampling of the music?
Sure.
Or do you? Okay. I'm just going to give you a little bit here.
Well, tell me.
Oh, no. Okay, so it's not who I thought it was. I thought it might be Bad Company.
Oh.
So it's back. Get one more. All right. Here is Eddie Trunks. These are the great rock and roll bands.
This one, it's good we don't have much time because you'll get it.
Maybe this will be a little surprise, but I've been bringing this up a number of times, and I am just going to say it. And yeah, you can accuse me of being a little biased because how close
Sammy Hagar.
I was with the guy, but I'm taking that out of it, and I'm being totally honest with you. I believe, to me, that the number one for me, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame snub right now, even ahead of Maiden, because this guy would have influenced Maiden, is the late, great...
Oh, Ronnie James Dio.
There you go.
Yeah!
It is a travesty.
No, keep playing it.
It's not included in induction. Name me a case where you had a lead singer.
Like, imagine taking your kids to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they're like walking around. They're like, I had a good time, but we must have missed Ronnie James Dio's plaque. Remember him from Rainbow? Remember Last in Line? I mean, it's part of the culture. I'll go so far as to say it's part of the zeitgeist. I mean, Ronnie James Dio sold at least 4,000 copies of each of his albums. And he invented the devil horns.
Second concert I ever saw. Dio.
You saw Dio?
Cobo Hall.
Headlining?
Yes.
Woof.
Fire-breathing dragon on stage.
Oh, I can only imagine that crowd.
I was 13 years old.
Did your parents go with you?
No. Mark Harper and I, we got dropped off.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I wish you had pictures of that concert. The amount of dungarees and beat weed.
Yeah.
Was Mingles there? All right. We'll be back in just one moment with Christopher Price.
it wasn't the same as it was.
We are Toucher and Hardy. Christopher Price is the Patriots beat writer for the Boston Globe. He joins us. First time we've had him on since the Super Bowl, obviously. Christopher Price. Hello, sir.
Good morning, Fred. How you doing?
I am well. How was San Francisco?
It was really cool. It was nice getting a chance to spend 10 days out there. I don't know if I would have signed up for 10 days in hindsight, but It was a good time. Good city.
Why were you out there that long?
Well, I was the designated last Globie left behind in case there was a Patriots MVP press conference. So I ended up hanging. I came back on Tuesday. I had the MVP press conference on Monday, and then I left a little bit early because I wanted to get out ahead of the storm, and so it all ended up all added up, I should say, to 10 days.
You went out on Saturday.
Yes.
I see. Yeah. Okay, so Christopher, we've had people on. We get a lot of riders on and things of that nature, and they're all saying different things. For instance, Andrew Callahan was all worked up. He's watched the game 3 times. I don't know if you should watch the game 3 times, to be honest with you. I think that you might get a little too in the weeds with it. But his take was that Will Campbell was bad, but Will Campbell was not as bad as people were saying. He blames it more on a McDaniels than Will Campbell. Where are you with that? His Will Campbell's performance and the performance of Mike McDaniels?
I think there are a couple different things at play there when you talk about Will Campbell in the Super Bowl. First of all, in hindsight, he probably rushed back too soon after the knee injury. And I'm not saying that's the first thing, but this is all part of the conversation when you talk about the young man. The other thing is he faced literally one of the most terrifying pass rushes, on the planet. And so he wasn't quite ready. And I think it's going to be fascinating to see what they end up doing at that position moving forward, because I think Vrabel's greatest strength is his level of connection with his players. The fact that he loves Will Campbell as much as he does. But the other thing, the other part that's occupying his brain is he loves creating competition. And I'm not saying that they're going to, spend a first-round pick on a left tackle, but I could see them bringing in a guy to kind of push him a little bit, to create a little bit of competition at that position and see how it all shakes out moving forward.
But they could draft a left tackle.
They could draft a left tackle. They could completely draft a left tackle. One of my favorite Vrabelisms is that he said, I think when he was a player, someone asked him if he watched the draft, and he said, yeah, I watch the draft every year because I want to see who they're trying to replace me with. And so that level of competition, I think he enjoys, and I think he likes pushing his guys, and it's going to be interesting to see how much that comes into play when you talk about the left tackle spot.
Yeah, because they might need a right tackle as it is with Morgan Moses, is his age and injury history. So,
they need help. That's the thing. They made the Super Bowl, but they need help at a lot of places.
Well, yeah.
So there's no position that's other than quarterback that's off limits.
But my theory, John, is if there's a tackle waiting for you at the end of the first round and you keep that pick, you end up you go and you bring a tackle into the building, and worst case scenario, which is not a worst case scenario, he plays right tackle for you. If you like him at left tackle and you think that he shows there, then you can move Campbell to guard or right tackle. You could have a lot of options there. All right.
Yeah.
So do you think Drake May's injury to his shoulder, first of all, what do you think the injury is? Do you think he did hurt it in the AFC Championship game? Do you think it was a lingering injury that was aggravated in the AFC Championship game? Let's start with that.
I think it was a lingering injury that kind of more about bumps and bruises over the course of an extended season than anything. And I think it was exacerbated by a hit in the AFC Championship game. Look, this is a young man who never played this much football in his entire life before over the course of a full season. And I think that it had an impact over the course of the year, the hits that he took. And I think that's what it was. I will say this, that if they had to turn around and play like a Thursday night game after the AFC Championship game, if they had to get on a plane and go to, Minnesota or something, I think it would have been a little dicey for him to play. That being said, it was probably the best course of action to take the shot and kind of take your chances moving forward.
Okay. So you don't think it was from like a throwing injury? You think it was from...
No.
Okay. Because that would be bad.
Yeah.
If that's a throwing injury, that's bad.
Yes.
All right. So when you look into do you think? What do you make of May's? Then what do you make of May's performance in the playoffs, as contrast to his performance in the regular season? Do you think some of it was injury related? Do you think all that football caught up to him? Is playoff football just a different animal and they weren't there? Was it schematic problems? What was going on?
They're not there yet. They aren't. And I spent all season trying to find some sort of historical comp for this team. And I think in the end, they reminded me a lot of the 1996 Patriots, a team with a young quarterback, ascending team, a lot of talent on both sides of the ball that ultimately just wasn't a finished product yet. And they ran into a much better team in the Super Bowl. So I think that they still have work to do. But when you look at this roster in its present state, there's a lot to like about this group. And obviously they need to kind of have the same sort of luck and the same sort of things fall into place for them, going into 2026 and beyond. But I like where they are. You guys know the quarterback. If you get the quarterback and the coach, that's like 40% of the process. You fill in around him. I think that, to John's point, there are some questions about, a handful of positions moving forward, but I like where they are, at least right now.
So, and I really don't know, Chris. So if you've got an easy answer for me, I would love it. What is the contrast then between, say, this Patriots team who overachieved and did more earlier than we thought, and what happened with the Commanders a couple of years ago? Because similarly, they ran into a much better team in the Eagles in the conference championship. Weren't they too like ascending in some way? Couldn't you say a lot of the same things? And if that's the case, what happened to them and how did the Patriots avoid that same pitfall?
That's a great question, Hardy. It really is, because when you look at what the Commanders did, young quarterback, talented team around him, they, playing a last place schedule coming into the 2025 season or 2024 season. There are a lot of similarities there. And really right now, this challenge is on Vrabel, it's on Elliott Wolf, it's on Ryan Cowden to be able to surpass, to be able to kind of, take those lessons and kind of, figure things out moving forward. It's a good question though. And look, it's going to be a different schedule. It's going to be a different team. You're not going to have the same level of luck. We can just call it luck that this team had this year. And that's okay. To be 14-3 and to get all the way to the Super Bowl, you have to be good. But they got a little lucky this year, and they need to figure out a way to replicate that going into the 2026 season.
Vrabel talked a lot about building a program, and I'm sure you saw the video of him welcoming his players back to the locker room after the Super Bowl was over, saying this is only 307 days. We're building something here. But considering how far they went, do you think there'll be any added urgency this offseason? Do you think they'll step out of character and try and get guys that will help them win now?
The urgency comes in when you consider the fact that you have a rookie quarterback who is an MVP finalist on a rookie contract.
Yes.
And so to be able to fill in around him while he is still on that relatively affordable deal, that's where the urgency to win now comes in. And I do think they're going to take a hard look at that when it comes to team building, the idea that, look, we only have another couple of years here with Drake and his rookie deal to be able to kind of maximize our opportunity. Obviously, Drake is going to hang around if he stays healthy, all that. But when you consider the short term, the next 2-3 years, that's really where the urgency comes in.
Okay, so would you give up draft capital, like real draft capital, like first, second round picks to improve the team next year?
Depends on the position.
What about Max Crosby?
About Max Crosby?
I'm talking about Max Crosby, baby.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
Again, you talk about the urgency. I think that figures into play there.
Okay, so if you get Max Crosby and you put him on that defensive line, how good is this defense?
It's one of the best. I'll say this: it's probably the best front four in the league.
I mean, and that makes up for a lot of offensive problems.
Yeah, and we saw that, Fred. We saw that in the playoffs this year too. That they played really good complementary football. The offense wasn't near. And I'm talking about the wild card game, the divisional round, the AFC Championship game. The offense wasn't near where they wanted it to be, but the defense was great. The defense had a great season, and they had a great postseason, other than the run defense in the Super Bowl. So if you can continue that, if you can add another layer to that defense and continue to play that level of good complementary football, I think you go for it.
Yeah. So if you bring Max Crosby in, what else would you do around the team this offseason? Say you bring in Max Crosby, and then what they're saying is that the one trade proposal that I saw was a late first, early second, and then an existing offensive player, young offensive player. I don't think the Patriots have one. I don't really know who the Patriots could. What did you say, John? What was the young player that you suggested? Kyle Williams?
Kyle Williams, right. That was with a question mark at the end of it. There isn't a great young player other than, I guess, Travion Henderson that other teams would want, and they're not dealing him. So
Well, no, and they wouldn't. Vegas wouldn't want Travion Henderson because they're Genty, so they probably wouldn't even want Travion Henderson. So
there isn't a great young player on this team.
A great young offensive player.
I'll say that great young offensive player. I think Craig Woodson's pretty good.
No.
I meant offensive player.
They said offensive player, like they would want an offensive player. But they have a lot of good defensive players that they could deal. I wouldn't. Yeah. I mean, but so if you do that, what else do you need to fill in on this?
You got to figure out your offensive line. You do, and I think that group is pretty good, and I think that group played very well at times this year. And, this kind of harkens back to the Will Campbell conversation, tackle, guard. I think he's going to stay at tackle now. But, again, I wouldn't be surprised to see Vrabel create a little competition at that spot. Right tackle, I love Morgan Moses, but Morgan Moses is going to be 35 next year. There's a lot of miles on Garrett Bradbury as well. And so I think that is one of your early focuses. If you decide to go after Max Crosby as your edge rusher, I think they need an edge rusher. And if you decide to go after Max Crosby as your edge rusher, then you need to start to look at the offensive line. The other thing is you have to figure out what you want to do with Steph Diggs if you want to pick up that option. And if you don't, then I think they're going to be a little bit more active in the wide receiver market as well.
Do you think they should with Steph Diggs?
That's a great question. I do, but not at the current rate. I think that they're going to have a conversation with him, and I don't know if they're going to spread the contract out and spread the money out, but they're going to have a serious conversation about that moving forward. I do think they'd be inclined to bring him back, but more on their terms than his.
Is leadership, is that overblown with him? It sounded like he kind of morphed into that role during the season.
Yeah, he did. I don't think it was overblown. I think the guys, specifically in the wide receiver room, really took to him, specifically Booty. And so I do think there is something there to him being a voice of reason in the locker room. I also think, too, that he wants to be part of a competitive offense. This is something I wrote about a couple of times over the course of the year because he's very close to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And so I think, you take all of that into consideration. I think he would be inclined to hang around here to work with Drake and to work with Vrabel and to work with Josh McDaniels, but we'll see.
Diggs is a Hall of Famer?
Yeah. If you take a look, those numbers are better than you think.
Really?
Yes. He was a dominant wide receiver in this league for about 5 or 6 years in there.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. Fred, the thing that he said that I've never talked to a player who is more cognizant of what he needed to do to get to the Hall of Fame than Steph Diggs. Really, he was like, I got this. I have the signature moment, the Minneapolis Miracle.
Yeah.
He said, all I need is a championship.
Okay.
He's almost got 1,000 catches.
How important when do you need to add like a true number one receiver and give May a true number one receiver?
Well, that's, if you keep Diggs around, I think that you can make it work with that group. If you decide to move on from Diggs, that's when I think you could start to look at the market. I also think, too, that a fascinating conversation to have would be about Justin Jefferson. He would cost a lot, but he's a true number one, and he's wasting away in Minnesota. So
you're not going to make a deal for Crosby and Jefferson.
No. Well, I think he's saying one or the other.
Yeah, that's not possible. Yeah, you need to choose one or the other. That's true.
You think Minnesota gives up Jefferson? That's a big add. Well, then you're giving up multiple. Wow, if you get Justin Jefferson, you better win. Because if you give up Justin Jefferson, that's multiple first-round
picks. Don't forget, he already got his contract, and you have to pay Gonzalez, and you have to pay May.
I'm not worried about paying him. I'm worried about that I would have to give up, like, an enormous amount of draft capital. Yeah. I mean, you'd be selling out for him. You'd think you're one player away.
That would be the definition of pushing all your chips to the middle of the table.
Yeah.
They're maximizing that window you would have with Drake in the next couple of years. I don't know if it's possible. Again, the idea of him and Crosby, I think, would be ridiculous. But yeah.
No, him and Crosby can't happen because you just won't have enough draft capital. The thing is that if you got Justin Jefferson,
this team has way too many needs for that.
That's multiple firsts and more.
Yeah, you can't afford the way the roster is now to push like 2-3 first-round picks to the middle of the table like that.
So Sauce Gardner was 2 firsts.
Yes.
Quinton Williams was a first and a second.
Well, yeah.
So if Sauce Gardner's 2 firsts, Justin Jefferson's 3 firsts, or 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and something else.
And I'd be less willing to do it too if you feel like you've got something figured out when it comes to the draft, and they should be feeling that way after the last draft. Like, no, we should hang on to these. We kind of know what we're doing now.
Yeah. And again, a lot of this goes back to Diggs. If you decide to keep Diggs around, you rework the contract a little bit. I think that point becomes the Jefferson idea becomes completely moot. But I think it's an interesting one to have.
Well, I like the idea. It makes the offseason a lot more interesting. That's for sure. Well,
That's
Christopher
fun.
Price, great stuff. We'll like to talk to you over. Football never really ends, so we'd like to keep in touch. Thank you for everything this season, and look forward to talking to you this offseason.
Sounds good, guys. Take care. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. Christopher Price from the Boston Globe. You want to know about the end of times? I can play you proof of the end of times are near. I will do that for you in just a moment.
Here's more of The Thing.
For you. Right now, France versus one of them other places.
Switzerland.
Yes. And do you know that the gold medal game is going to be at 8:20 in the morning?
No.
8:10 in the morning is the gold medal game.
What's the date on that, Fred?
February 22nd. I'm looking at the schedule now.
It's a Sunday.
Sunday at 8:10 in the morning.
So it's Sunday at like 2 in the afternoon?
I don't know what the time in Milan is.
It's 6 hours ahead.
So, yeah, if it's 6 hours ahead, I mean, they could have easily had it at 8 o'clock their time.
Maybe that's the day of the closing ceremony, so maybe that's why it's in the afternoon.
It's the day of the closing ceremonies. But as a spectacle, 8:10 in the morning is not ideal for your sport if you're the NHL.
No.
Because the game on the 21st, whatever game I take it the 20th is the semifinals, because the 21st, I guess, would be the bronze medal game. Because there's only one game on the 21st and one game on the 22nd. 22nd's obviously the gold medal game. I take it the 21st is the bronze medal game. On the 20th, there are two games. I'm guessing that would be the semifinals. Those run at 10:40 and 3:10. So the gold medal game has been scheduled for 8:10 in the morning on the 22nd.
Nice.
10 days from now, you will be watching at 8:10 in the morning the gold medal Olympic hockey game. Well, I mentioned the fall of Western civilization. I've mentioned the Boom Guys. If you have Instagram and have never come across the Boom Guys, I don't know how that's possible. We all know the Boom Guys. There's people of all ages. Ryan's in his 20s. Nick and Adam are in their 40s. John's in his 80s. Hardy and I are in our 50s. We've all come across the Boom Guys. Who are they? Well, they're a family, but it's mostly a dad and his son, and they go boom, boom, boom with their arms flexed.
Oh, they're the Costco guys.
They've way past that now. They're not late. They don't just do the chicken bacon, the chalk cookie anymore. They do a lot of stuff. Comedy. Real comedy. Like there was one where the kid tells the dad, hey, if you go outside, I can't hear you. And then the kid goes outside and you can't hear him. And then when the dad goes outside, you can hear him. But he's saying boom. So he played a pretty good prank. Boom! 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 All right, so Pat McAfee is broadcasting from the Super Bowl. And who wanders up? Like, you can watch Pat McAfee. Say there's a crowd of like Pat McAfee, who apparently his ratings are like out of control. Like everyone loves Pat McAfee. Again, the world is ending. But there's a group of, say, 50 people watching the Pat McAfee show from Radio Row or wherever the hell he's broadcasting from. Up comes AJ and Big Justice, the Boom Guys. They're not guests.
No.
They're just standing beyond the rope. And this is what goes on between the two of them.
Whenever you think about this week and all the boom.
He gets to swear.
Whoa.
He gets to swear, which is really
lucky.
He's so lucky. All right, so here we go.
Whenever you think about this week and all the boom, boom.
Knew they'd be here.
Boom, boom, boom.
5.
Boom, 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 boom.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Another still breathing.
You're swole, bro.
Not swole is boom. Holy shit. Good to see you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I know you're a worker, obviously. I've seen you guys. Whole family getting in on the gimmick and getting to eat off of it. That's awesome, dude. You guys should be pumped. For what you guys have accomplished, we'd like to give you 10 big booms. Boom, 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 boom. I think that was 10. Hey, congratulations. You guys are awesome. Boom. Hey, we're getting them. Boom. 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 All right, that's good. I think that was a dream for us. Thank you for that.
Of course we have to try out the furniture.
It was the decline of Western civilization.
I'd have fired him on the spot.
Now, Fred,
this is the world we live in. This is the world we live in. This is what's going on.
It's all over. That's it. We're done.
So it's like two cats Or it's like when you go to the dog park and two dogs see each other and they start chasing each other around. Boom, 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 boom.
Now,
boom, 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 boom. You guys are good job, guys. Good job. You guys are doing great. Good job, everybody.
Least surprising thing is not that they are fans of each other, but who was sitting there also getting off on it, along with Pat McAfee. Do you know who his guest was?
I don't know. Everyone's got mustaches
At the
and ironic haircuts. No.
Kyle Van Noy was getting in on the boom experience.
If a bomb would have gone off at that time, imagine the douchiness meter of the world would have just like fallen off. If there's a meter that gets douchiness.
Oh, yeah.
So it's Van Noy. I mean, I wonder if anyone just had a heart attack or if every woman was very clean after because of all the Vagisil that was going around. I'll tell you, Van Noy, McAfee, the ironic mullets and mustaches that are his cast, and then you have the boom guys all in one area. And the homelessness was the problem in San Francisco. I get it. That was the problem. Take homelessness 1,000,000 times over that. That, my friend, is idiocracy. That is the dumbing down of America. They're not even talking to each other. They're just saying, you say boom. Yeah, we say boom. 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 And they're all like, yeah. Like apes. Big idiots. It's de-evolution. It's awful.
Well, we had a good run.
Boom, 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 boom. That was a dream for us.
That was great for us. That was great for us. Boom. When you said boom, we said boom.
Ugh. All right, Forsberg. With your dumb haircut now coming in here pissing me off. You better not talk about golf or I'm slapping people. All right. Now I'm in a foul mood. I'm really worried. I swear to God, I'm worried. I really am worried.
Forsberg's like somehow entered the blast radius. He was just standing there.
He was just standing there. He was just in my line of sight. All right, we'll be right back.
Oh, we're so sorry to hear about your brother that passed away. He gets 5 big booms.
Winner in New England.
For more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
I'm sorry, I'm upset. Winter in New England doesn't just bring snow, it brings ice dams that can tear up your gutters and leak into your walls. When the heat escape, it melts the snow, then it refreezes at the roof's edge. Very quickly, I want to do this exercise. You can participate if you want, but it's about baseball.
All right.
I saw it, and I want to talk about it now because it is interesting. All right, this is from the MLB Network. I don't know what the shredder is, but whatever. The shredder is number one player at each position. Okay, I want to go through this exercise. I'm getting somewhere. First of all, let's start with the closer. If you had to guess the closer based on last year.
I've cheated. I've seen this.
Then I don't want to do it.
I'm sorry.
F you, Wallach.
I saw it. What do you want from me?
Forget it then.
It's Aroldis Chapman.
I wish I was.
No, but I was going to work my way to Duran. Duran is the left fielder.
Yeah.
Duran is the best left fielder, according to the shredder.
He's the shredder? I don't know what the shredder is, but that sounds good.
Roman Anthony's better than him. My God, on his own team.
So Cal Raleigh is the catcher.
Right.
Jose Ramirez is the third baseman.
Right.
Bobby Witt Jr. is the shortstop. Marte is the second baseman. Freddie Freeman is the first baseman. Schoolball's the starting pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all the best players at the positions. This isn't like a weird list.
Mm-hmm.
Then it goes Aaron Judge in right field, Julio Rodriguez in center field. You're like, okay.
And that all makes sense.
And then Duran. Is there no one playing left field in baseball?
That would be my conclusion.
The guy that not every, but a lot of Red Sox fans wanted shipped out of here before the deadline last year.
They have to ship him out of here because they had to ship him out of here because their best young player plays the same position. And they're not going to move their right fielder or their center fielder out of those positions because they're too good defensively. So I have no idea what the hell.
What was the voting methodology?
I don't know. It's the shredder.
This guy named
Eddie Trunk.
Shredder.
The guy from Ninja Turtles?
Oh, yeah. See, that's why he's here. Right there.
No, I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, it's the best air guitarist to pick them. But it's like these guys that are like, could be, I mean, Bobby Witt Jr. could be a Hall of Famer. Ramirez could be a Hall of Famer. Schooble's going to be a Hall of Famer. Judge is going to be a Hall of Famer. Jose Ramirez could be a Hall of Famer. Freddie Freeman's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And then Duran. Chapman probably could be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Then Duran.
It's wrong.
Everyone at every position is either A or on the path to being a Hall of Famer.
I'm trying to think of left fielders. There
Mike-
aren't
Mike
many
Greenwell?
good ones. Mike Greenwell. The only guy I could come
Jordan
up-
Walker.
Stephen Kwan in Cleveland. There aren't many, so I can understand why they put Duran there.
Why is
Shredder
that?
by default.
Why aren't there more good left fielders?
I don't know the answer to that.
In left field is usually where you can put an all bat, no glove.
Hell, put Soto in left. He'd be better. I mean, jeez.
Isn't right field where you hide people?
No, right field, you got to have a cannon.
No, right field, you need a great arm.
Yeah, right field, you got to have the big arm. Center field, you got to cover the most ground. Left field, you can usually hide a guy. Left field and first, you can sometimes hide a guy.
Yeah.
Even though first base is becoming a much more defensively metriced position.
Yep.
But no, left field, you can stick it. That's why Martinez played, not Martinez. That's why Ramirez played left.
Yeah,
played left.
that's the thing. I mean,
especially at Fenway, you don't
right
have to
field's
really go
impossible.
anywhere.
You got to know what you're doing.
Yeah, left field at Fenway. I mean,
You don't need any kind of an arm.
no, you just let it hit the wall.
That's the thing. If it goes over your head, it's going to come right back to you. So
Not a lot of ground to cover out in left relatively at Fenway Park. All right, Chris Forsberg is here. Are you excited for the All-Star break, Chris Forsberg?
I am. I'm not excited for the All-Star game and all the whatever. I don't even know what the format is this year. They're breaking it into like mini games or something.
Yeah. If it was international versus the United States and they tried, so this is all so hypothetical.
Right.
But the idea is it's international against the United States. Now, that's interesting. Like, if they played a game where they tried, because the international team's 1,000 times better than the United States team. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You get an international team out there that crushes the United States team in a real game of basketball.
which is what would happen.
I mean, it's the anti-dream team.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Look at the squads. Do it in your head.
Wembanyama, Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Who else do we have? Who else?
I don't think numbers-wise it would match up because you would have like 3 guys on the bench for the world team.
Just can't see 20 years from now being like, man, back in the day.
Because
when they used to break it
they're
up.
splitting into 3 8-player teams and 16 of the players are making up the two U.S. teams.
Right.
And then there's one world team with 8 players.
Just go back
So you
to
can't play, just a straight up game between those two squads
It
because
used to
the
be
roster
like
sizes
Sunday
don't
at
match
3
up.
o'clock in the afternoon. You would tune in and you would see Michael Jordan and everybody going up
That's
against
right.
each other. And All Star Saturday Night used to rock. And
You
now
could see a
it's
little
just-
kiss between Isaiah and Magic, a little smooch.
But now
They
it's
had a
just-
falling out, though,
now
at the end there.
Now I don't love any part of this All Star.
Isaiah Thomas doesn't get along with anybody.
That's why he left him off the
Did they
dream
still
team.
do the skills thing where you do the bounce pass through the hoop?
I'm actually uncertain if they still do that.
All
I
right.
assume they do.
I used to like that.
All right, here is. I'll put together what the international All-Star game would be. Oh, I thought I interrupted you and you were pissed. Okay.
No.
Okay.
He's doing visual humor.
I'm doing the I'm
radio.
doing the Gene Hackman pop the ball, pop it.
Okay. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander would be your point guard.
Yep.
Giannis would be your power forward.
Yep.
Jokic and Wembanyama could be twin towers.
Yep.
And then you could take your. Did you know Karl Anthony Towns is an international player? And then Doncic would be your
Doncic.
fifth. So it's Giannis, Wembanyama, Jokic, Alexander, and Doncic are your starting 5.
Yes.
And what's my USA starting 5? Jalen.
Jalen Brown, Steph Curry, I guess.
Yes.
I guess he's not playing.
Of the guys that
Cade
got the,
Cunningham would probably start for that team.
of the guys that got
Anthony
the top
Edwards.
votes, yeah, you'd have 3 guards and Jalen Brown. And
If
Anthony
I was
Edwards.
putting together the starting lineup, and I'm no expert, but I guess Brunson, Brown, but then you don't start Cunningham. Would you start Cunningham or Brunson? I'd start Cunningham. Cunningham, Brown.
For an All-Star game, you might throw both out there just because. Like,
Okay,
whatever.
so Brunson, Cunningham, Brown, and then Tyrese Maxey, I guess.
Finding tall Americans is tough.
Chet Holmgren is the biggest guy on this team. You got Kawhi Leonard, but he might not play because he doesn't like playing.
I go back to what is the motivation for the players? Because that is the key to tapping into an interesting All-Star game. And at least East versus West back in the day used to matter, and there was at least some sort of rivalry to it. And guys tried a little bit, and now it's just like, hey, it's your turn to do a cool layup. This is fun.
No, the game sucks. It's just that starting 5 from the international team would be fun to take on the starting 5 from the U.S. because the international team starting 5 is 1,000 times better than anything that the United States could put together.
I'm just trying to think of American forwards who are American citizens.
Jalen Duren is a forward.
Bam Adebayo, is he an American citizen?
I would say
And
so.
here's
But he's not on the All-Star.
No,
team.
he's not. I'm just trying to think of in general.
Guys that you could
Maxey's a forward, or is he a
He's a
shooting
guard. He's a point guard.
Maxey's a point guard?
Yeah.
Oh,
What about that
positionless
Herder
basketball.
The Herder fella, yeah.
Durant's
Great
a
shooter.
forward.
Yes, Duran is there. Bam Adebayo is there.
LeBron James is a forward.
You know who's technically an American citizen? Joel Embiid. Technically an American citizen.
He's no All-Star.
Got that gold medal.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's a U.S. citizen, so he could get the gold medal.
And Karl Anthony Towns, born in New Jersey, Kentucky, all that stuff, but his mother's Dominican, so he played for the Dominican national team. When
Well,
he
who
was
needs
16.
him then? Who needs him? Right?
Jeez.
Who needs him? We don't want him. He doesn't want to be here. We don't want him.
Calm down.
And this is a guy who's been to the Dominican Republic.
That's right.
John went on his first vacation in 25 years to the Dominican.
It's spent Christmas there.
DR was where you chose?
Oh, yeah.
He got on an airplane.
He got on an airplane, and then he got one room for the 4 of them,
We were talking
and they
about
were miserable.
We just got mentioned in 5 seconds of passing yesterday. Adam 12, when's the last time you were on an airplane?
Oh. Always thinking.
12 or so years ago.
Whoa!
Between 12 and 15 years ago.
Whoa!
Yeah. Probably to fly down to Virginia to see my in-laws at the time.
Why didn't you drive?
Yeah. Oh, well, we did that another time.
Okay, good.
What's the furthest from Boston you've been in the last 15 years?
In the last 15 years? Virginia, probably.
In the last 12 years.
Last 12 years.
Post
Maine.
Virginia trip.
Maine.
Montreal.
No. Maine. That's the answer.
Montreal's as far as you've been.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much in this northeast,
Yeah. I like
New
the
England
Northeast.
corridor.
Yeah.
Loves the cold.
I like the Northeast. I like the cold. Doesn't bother me.
There's no wanderlust in you. You know, Forsberg could tell you how to get on a flight.
Yeah,
very
he's
cheap.
the cheap flights. What's that? Airline you like?
Breeze. Oh yeah, Breeze.
Friday night, I'll be on a Breeze flight. I'm out of here.
So if it's 15 years since you've taken an airplane flight, would you be like amazed when you got on the plane?
Wait, they don't. I can't smoke cigarettes on here.
Yeah,
anymore?
like,
they're
would
not
you-
serving me prime rib.
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
going on?
Like, why is the flight attendant not carving the meat at my side?
Exactly.
All right. Will the TV scare you? Will you be like a caveman seeing fire for the first time?
TVs came and went. They had
Yeah,
TVs.
that's right. And
now they're gone.
Yeah, everyone's on their screens.
On
right.
your airplanes, they're gone. They're not gone on real airplanes. I can assure you, there's still TVs on real airplanes.
Not for long.
You know what?
Forever.
No, I was. It was like a real airline. It was either I think it was American.
First off, you guys, Breeze is a real airline. Spirit is a real.
There are.
airline.
Listen, if you're on a small flight, there's not going to when I fly from wherever to Tennessee, there's not TVs, but on a regular plane, there's TVs, and there should be, because they have live television, which can be difficult to get even with Wi-Fi. So they need to have the live television. Let's calm down with the no TV.
It was there was a week or two ago when somebody asked me, I was just talking with a friend about Forsberg, and they said, "What's his deal with the cheap, airline thing?" And I said,
lack of income.
And I defended him. I said, "It's not that. I think it's he may be frugal in some regard, but I think he just enjoys the chase." The chase being better than the kill, hunt.
There is some of that, but I'm also very cheap. It's like why I have Ryobi tools, why I fly. I don't. There's stuff you'll overpay for in life, and flights are not one of them.
Okay, so Adam,
yes.
When will do you not trust the concept of flight?
No, I would love to travel. When I tell you where I'd like to go, you're going to laugh at me. I would love to go visit Iceland. Iceland seems like a beautiful
That's
place, and I would like to visit there someday.
Would you?
I would absolutely. I'm going to get on a steamer and take the steamer.
Do you think your ears could handle it?
Steamer.
Wait, what?
Tramp steamer.
Well, no, you can't. You can't just hop on a boat while it's moving by you, like he does with the rails.
Have you done a cruise?
No, I'm not.
90s cruise next year.
Would you bring like your own SpaghettiOs or anything on the plane? How would you handle eating? Because Iceland can be like a 5-hour flight.
No, but the plane. I mean, it's been a while, obviously, but do they still give you little packages of pretzels and peanuts? Because I'll eat
not
those. That's
peanuts
all I need.
anymore.
No,
because
of
right,
because
allergies.
That tracks.
No, it's sun chips and popcorners.
I like sun
and
chips.
biscotti.
Yeah, I mean, if you were here, Dan Roach, the flight attendant gave him a whole carton of biscotti crackers, and I'm like, or biscuits. She was flirting with him. Obviously, she gave him, dude, I guess there would probably be 20 packs of them.
Yeah, so 40 cookies
like
altogether.
40 cookies altogether. She
sealed
handed
up,
it to him.
like sealed up. He brought,
they put on the plane for the flight attendants to dole out to everybody.
Right.
Like a whole one of
he
those.
knows how it works, Adam. Everyone else has flown but you.
I've been on an airplane.
See, what I've been told is
recently,
there are people that work for the airline that come by with various beverages and snacks, and they will hand them to the various passengers.
Slow down.
Yeah, no, I don't want to get over your skis. But yeah, this woman, this flight attendant, knew who Roach was, and said, "Do you?" And he goes, "I like the biscuits." And so she goes, "Oh," and then she handed him 20 packages of biscuits,
like a brick.
A brick, you buy a pound of weed.
Put that brick in his face.
Yeah,
what you gonna do with it?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring him into work and give him the threat.
Ignored it.
So so she was obviously flirting with him.
Yeah.
And Dan didn't like that. He didn't like that. So he went like this.
Yeah. He immediately texted his wife because he felt guilty.
Yeah. And then he went.
It meant nothing.
That's a good Dan. That's a good Dan facial expression.
This is my Dan Roach impression.
That was the best when the two of you had a smile off. You missed that.
He doesn't like it.
He didn't
like it at all.
He doesn't like it at all.
No.
No, he doesn't like it because he looks dopey.
That was the best advertisement for your YouTube feed ever because that was such a good impression.
Thank you. Yeah, more,
please.
Yeah, more.
Being a dink.
So Adam and I has not been on a flight for 15 years. Iceland, though, is where he wants to go. Maybe start small. Maybe
Cleveland.
You're like Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You can't leave. You got to knock them out before you can take them out of the city.
Is there an American city you haven't been to that you want to go to?
No, there's nowhere he hasn't been. He's been to
Salt Lake
Albuquerque in Maine and Boston. Those are the three
I've been
places.
to more. I've been to San Diego. I've been to San Francisco.
Now, technically,
I bet you have.
Now he's flexing.
To get to Montreal, you have to drive through New Hampshire and Vermont. Does that count?
No. He's all. We've
Northeast
established
is
he's been in the
All right.
New England area.
Very good.
I
Yeah,
love New England.
I know. Why
I would
leave?
go back to. I was fine. I would go back to Albuquerque before I went anyplace else.
Have you been to
being up there.
Florida?
Yeah. I've been to South Beach in Miami.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been to Florida.
Yeah.
Have you been to Texas?
Passing through, like, stayed a night
Okay,
in
'cause you-
Amarillo,
okay.
traveling. Like,
Have you been anywhere in the Southeast?
No. I don't know that I would want to.
Why?
Whoa.
What is there down there that's interesting?
Well, I mean, the Carolinas are they have that beachfront there.
Are you throwing dirt on my South Carolina?
No,
I'm Savannah and Charleston are unique towns.
Yeah.
Atlanta is a major metropolis that has things going on there that people need.
That's
a lot of libraries.
Nashville is a big
fair.
music scene.
That is fair. And, you know what? I have been to Nashville. Nashville's nice. And Memphis.
I've never been to
And to your
Memphis.
point about Carolina, I mean, it must be great because Tangway got the tattoo of the place. So
Yeah, aren't you at least a little bit curious about why he got that tattoo?
New Orleans?
I'd like to ask him.
Have
No,
you
I've
been
not
to
been
New
to New
Orleans?
Orleans, but I would go to New Orleans. That's interesting.
Oh, so you're starting to kick around there that you would go.
Yeah.
There are places you would go.
Yeah.
All right.
Jackson, Mississippi.
Nah, pass.
Okay.
We should just get him like an airline voucher as a gift. Here.
Well, to torture him?
Go
We should get him a
somewhere.
$125 airline voucher. And then
You know how far I can get you on 125 on Breeze?
I'm gonna say give that to Forsberg. Go fly around the world.
I'm
on it.
telling you, I will get you. We'll puddle jump everywhere. We can get you back and forth. Breeze will get you where you need to be.
Enough of Adam depressing everyone. All right, when we come back, we can figure out something to put together about the Celtics to fill a break.
There's some Jason Tatum chatter.
Sure. All right.
Sure.
I mean, we've been having this chatter for a year.
We can have more of it.
All right, very good. We'll be back in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy on the.
play jade?
I don't know if it's like when you go to a tattoo artist and they're like, I won't put that on you. You know, they're like, I'm not doing that. All right, Chris, since you're chomping at the bit, Jason Tatum, he's been practicing with the 5-on-5 with the G League team. What are you hearing about Jason Tatum and the possibilities?
So
now that the Super Bowl concept of yours has come and gone.
Yes. Well, I've been steadfast that I thought it would be, because he made so much progress. So, like, to give you all the breadcrumbs, right? Like he says before the season that he kind of targeted a date, and we all thought it was his birthday, March 3rd. And then he made so much progress, I thought it was maybe going to shift into February. And then he had this like little period of self-doubt where he was very vocal about. And so maybe we're shifting back into March. But listen, when he practiced on Monday night, there was part of me that said, oh, he might play Wednesday. Last night. And because usually when you get to this point, you just the last batch of hurdles is sort of on the player. And when you're ready, you're ready. And it's go time. I think it's coming sooner than later. But it's just weird. The schedule, the way it breaks down, he has, and I know we've talked about this, but he has said he'd like to make his first game at home. With the All-Star break, the next game at home is until February 27th. And it's the Nets. So it's not exactly a sexy game.
So we'll do this again. What's the deal with like what he wants in terms of the spectacle?
The one thing I'm kicking myself on is like I should have asked him like, do you still want to come back at home? Because I think there's going to be a lot of games on this West Coast trip that are going to be tempting for him if he feels like his body is ready to do this. Because
but you're making it sound like the decision of when to come back is not based solely on him being physically ready. It's based on like the adulation that he will receive or the attention that he'll get.
I think in his mind, when you're 9 months out and you're just kind of like daydreaming about that day, you probably say like it'd be nice to debut at home. But I
guys won a title. I mean, he's fantasizing about coming back from the injury and getting a standing ovation
for a regular season game. It's weird.
I mean, he played at Duke. I mean, he's been in big atmospheres before,
and maybe he's changed. Like again, like I'm kicking myself for not thinking to ask him in the moment, and I wonder if he'll change his stance if he gets out there, if with all this ramp up he is ready to go. You start thinking about like Golden State coming out of the break. There's Al and Porzingis on the other side. Like that's going to be a fun game. And then they're down playing the Lakers, and he always loves playing in LA and all that. So
he would hold himself out when he's ready.
Again, I don't want to put words. I 9 months ago when he was starting to talk about like what would be the ideal situation to come back on, he did say I'd love to do that in front of the fans of Boston. But I don't think anyone would begrudge him if he said, as much as I'd love to debut in front of the fans of Boston, I am ready. It's time. We're doing this on the road.
Can I give you another example of why that sounds terrible? Is that say it's going to take X amount of games for him to get like ready for the playoffs, right? Or they want to limit the games before the playoffs. Whatever the scenario, it shouldn't be incumbent on him wanting to have a big to-do about it, right? Like it seems like if this is all science and there's this medical ramp-up plan and he's going to need a certain amount of games or they don't want him in this many games or something, it should be planned based on that and not if it would be neat to be in the game.
I'm assuming that's what will happen if he hits all the check marks before I don't think when you're thinking about this and when you're expressing that desire, you don't sit there and say there's going to be a 2-week stretch where the Celtics will not play a home game. I think it was just something he put out into the universe, and now as it gets closer to reality, he'll probably reevaluate. Okay. But like the fact of the matter is, whether it's on this road trip or very shortly after into March, like it's happening. And the one thing I think Celtics fans can be pretty excited about is like things have gone really good to this point. There's some excitement about like how this looks, but they've got some stuff to figure out, and especially like how it looks once Tatum's back. And so there's
can I ask you something about that? Like, is there a chance that the team starts off like a little bit worse when he comes back? Okay.
And I think it's only natural, right? Like anytime you're reintegrating someone, I think,
or integrating someone. Vucevic's first couple of games weren't very good.
No, I mean not him, but the team in general. Like, do you think the team could be worse off?
That's what I was saying. The team didn't play necessarily well offensively, especially when Vucevic came in.
And not to put words in your mouth, Chris, but I think you see that, Fred, more often when there's a guy with the team for a certain period of time. He goes away for a couple of weeks. He's dealing with a minor injury. the team kind of re-gels and is re-energized, and they realize they have to get up. And we've seen it. We've seen it when Tatum or Brown has been out for a stretch for 6, 7, 8 games, and then they come back and they kind of, it's like this collective sigh. Now he's back, and the team goes down again. I don't know that we'll have it this time around. I mean, they may not look as smooth because you're integrating someone back into the mix, but instead of the sigh, like, oh, now we can take a break, I think they're going to be reinvigorated when Tatum comes
100%. I do think there's also like this natural tendency where maybe you're a little bit deferential. You're like, oh, he's back. Like, let's get him touches. Let's get him shots. And he's still working through it. And he might have some rust, obviously, after 9 months. And so I think it could look clunky a little bit. And, if he's, I don't know how they're necessarily going to use him. Like, he could come off the bench to limit the minutes at first, and then he'll eventually shift to the starting lineup. And, you got to figure out, like, the Celtics still don't know what their like best starting 5 is yet. Like, they got to figure that out, and like, what are the right pieces to put around him in this new mix. So I do think there'll be some growing pains along the way, but the ultimate thing is, like, the best version of the Celtics has Jason Tatum, and they've just got to figure out how to get to that point.
The more I look at this, the more I'm realizing the timing was there all along. Remember, we had Cedric Maxwell on. We asked him about this a few weeks ago, and he said the best case scenario for the Celtics would be to give Tatum 15 to 20 games to kind of give himself a run-up for the playoffs. Well, his birthday, that Charlotte game, which is the day after his birthday, that gives him exactly 21 games left in the regular season. I think it's always been his birthday. I think the boxes that he was checking was with that date in mind. I think that this isn't happenstance. It isn't like when he's ready. I think this is the day they've always planned on bringing him back. It's just too big a coincidence.
I mean, again, like we did this, I remember when Gordon Hayward and Kyrie were working their way back. We fixated on, I think it was March 23rd, because there were some connections, some birthdays. Like, I'm sure, again, that he's had target dates in mind, but it's also like hard 9 months out to say, like, we're definitively doing this date. And that's why I thought maybe it would slide one way or another. He's just put in so much effort and work that I just thought it would move towards February. And we'll see. We'll see where he ends up landing. At this point, once you're back out there, like, seeing some of the photos they put up from that main scrimmage, it's like, I mean, he's elevating and, like, look again, until we see the video, until we see him in 5-on-5, it's hard to necessarily judge. But man, from the still images, it's intriguing.
Well, I saw a report from Shams after it had happened, and Shams said that everyone I talked to says he looked great. That was Shams's word, great, and that tells me
if
that
you're one of the main Celtics, are you saying anything bad? Like,
well, no.
One, I'm not letting you shake me down.
I don't think Shams is talking to the main Celtics. I think Shams is talking to the coaches that were there. I think that this is maybe another box checked, and I think it's all about now making sure that he recovers from this well, has a couple of workouts after this. It's a done deal. He's going to be back. He's going to be back soon.
And the whole, and because a lot of people were, when the whole reports came out about he's questioning it, they said, what changed? And I think it's natural to have a little bit of, hey, am I going to be myself? There's the very human element to that, but I don't think it ever changed his mind about what he was going to do this season. I think it's fair to ponder it and to figure like what the right spot is. But yeah, I've just never thought that he wasn't going to return this season.
And natural for someone who has been, out of their element, not playing every day. There's just a lot of time to be thinking about stuff and allow doubt to creep in and think about, I'm really ready or really not. I think it all goes away after that first game, and you get back there and you get in the routine, and the recovery goes well afterward, and you feel fine, and then it's all done. But I do think it's like that quick. It's like a switch that flips once you're back into the
especially once you're in
rhythms.
5-on-5, like and you start feeling a little bit more like yourself. Even if there is some rust, like you're like, oh, I'm ready to be.
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's automatically awesome. I'm saying like whatever trepidation he might be feeling, that goes out the window once you go out there and play a game and you feel okay afterward. Okay, I was worried for nothing.
I'd be very, very concerned about him playing. Very, very concerned. That Achilles is no joke. And as we've talked about, I mean, in the past, in basketball, they have been re-aggravated, and it can cause different stuff. So I hope they know what they're doing.
You're talking. This is the same. Like we're talking. You're stuck on what the medicine was last time Adam 12 was on a flight. Like this is. We've made advancements where like guys have come back. Drew Smith in Miami has played all but one game this year. after doing the same injury and coming back after 9 months. I think we get stuck that under this like.
How big is Drew Smith?
Probably 6'6".
Okay. Because if he was,
but he's not playing a lot of minutes. Your point is valid there in terms of he plays 17, 18 minutes a night. There's a lot less strain than Tatum, who's going to eventually be playing.
Well, and also I take my chances with Drew Smith, whoever that is, before I take my chances with Jason Tatum. I would just be very, very cautious. Look, I don't know what's going on.
It just sounds like you're worried for your Pistons.
No, Fred just likes.
I'm a huge Pistons fan. Huge Piston fan. Huge.
Don't you like that team though?
I do like that team a lot. In fact, Jaylen Brown, after that fight. He was talking about that fight between Charlotte and Detroit. He said the Celtics needed a little bit more of what Detroit has.
You know who likes that team a lot? I heard him this morning talking about it. Kendrick Perkins loves that Pistons team. Talks about how they play with consistency and how they don't have nights where they don't show up.
Right. So in fairness, I do like this Pistons team more than I've liked the Pistons team in 20, 25 years. But let's put it this way: I'm not living and dying with each game.
Fair.
If they play the Celtics, I hope they beat them. But I don't. It's not.
It's just fun when Detroit is good. And,
yes. And they're also badass. Like they're also like tough. So if they play the Celtics, that will be fun because the Celtics are so talented and Detroit's so tough that it will be interesting.
That's another thing the Celtics do. Detroit's probably more talented, but the Celtics also show up every night. There aren't many off nights for them.
Not according
also.
to Jaylen Brown. He said that they need more of what Detroit has.
I think, and especially his point is the Celtics have struggled against physicality, and part of the reason you swap Simons for Vooch is while Vooch hasn't been a great rim defender, he does bring another big body who has been around, can joust, and they just need a little bit more of that. They're going to be these playoff series. They're going to be physical. They're going to be tough, and the Celtics have got it.
That's the thing. The Knicks did that to them on Super Bowl Sunday.
If you love complaining, wait until if the Pistons play the Celtics in the playoffs. Jaylen Brown will be in a constant state of
oh yeah,
pleading.
Oh my God.
After every game, he will have a lot to say.
And Jaylen Brown is far from unique in this, but anytime and he's been taking so many mid-range shots and driving to the hole, which I like to see, but. Like everyone else in the NBA, once you're inside the free throw line, you expect a whistle. If I've got the ball and I'm going to take a shot, there better be a whistle coming. And when he doesn't get one, he is absolutely perplexed.
I think he's pretty. He's realized that he's not going to get the sort of superstar whistle. But I'll be very interested to see what kind of whistle he gets in the playoffs.
Okay.
When does he realize that?
I mean, he might still voice his displeasure, but I think
there was about a 2-week span in there where he
thinks he realized it. Okay, very
Yeah.
good. Wow. Adam gets so annoyed at John because John talks right when we're supposed to be going to break. I'll try to throw it to break, and then John will say something always useless.
But the other thing is,
yeah, and it's completely for no reason. All right, Chris Forsberg, thank you so much. We appreciate it. NBC Sports Boston. We'll be back. We'll do email, but there is a comments about Roethlisberger I'd like to play. So, Ryan, put them in my Vox Pro post haste after you got Hardy as Celsius. We'll be right back.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics beat Chicago last night 124-105 in their final game before the All-Star break. Their next game is on the road against the Golden State Warriors a week from tonight. Jaylen Brown will start for one of the teams this weekend in Los Angeles during All-Star weekend. Charlie McAvoy and the U.S. Olympic team play Latvia today. It's their first game of the preliminary round. David Pastrnak leads Team Czechia against Canada at 10:40, and Switzerland just finished off France 4-0 in another preliminary round game. And the Red Sox are continuing workouts for pitchers and catchers in Fort Myers. The position players are due in this weekend. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Boston Vision. Boston Vision helped baseball legend David Ortiz get back to seeing 20/20 again, and they can do the same for you. See Big Like Poppy. Book your free evaluation at bostonvision.com. I'm John.
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
All right, Forsberg, get out of here.
He and I are
Time's
talking.
over.
We're talking.
Good to see you, Chris.
They're talking about golf. He won't leave.
See you next week.
Bye, Christopher. Love you, buddy.
See ya.
Our email bit is Jeffrey is brought to you by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. They, like Pete Forsberg, won't leave you. They'll stick around. You've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. I'd like to start with this. This is funny for a couple reasons. A, what is said, and B, the presence of Diana Rossini. All right, so this is – I need one of you to count the amount of times Diana Rossini makes a noise.
I love keeping score. Good.
For no reason.
All right, good.
Okay, so this is not the Diana Rossini podcast.
Yep.
This is, of course, you all know Cam Hayward's podcast.
Of course, yes.
And apparently they had some setup. I'm guessing this is at the Super Bowl, but Cam Hayward – he has a very famous podcast. He goes out and sells his own advertising. He makes a lot of money. He's monetized it. It's a whole thing. So he has.
Well, that's why McAfee loves him. He's a worker. He's getting everybody involved.
So Cam Hayward somehow landed Joey Porter, who played for the Steelers, obviously, and was part of the Roethlisberger teams. So when he refers to number 7, he's referring to Roethlisberger. Now, Diana Rossini is there for some reason. Again, this is not her podcast. It's Cam Hayward's podcast. Diana Rossini is a guest. Joey Porter is popping off about something. Finally, Cam Hayward's podcast, someone's going to pay attention to it because Joey Porter's saying controversial stuff.
And in these moments, if you're, I would say, good at this, you know to just lay out.
In fact, how many times do I have to tell John, shush?
Twice a segment.
So you have to. I like when everyone backs off the microphones. Sometimes I'll turn his off, but you have to back off the microphone. Let the people cook.
Cut the cord.
I need you, Hardy, to track the amount of times Diana Rossini makes a noise.
Thank you for asking me to do this, by the way. You know what gets to me.
That's right. All right, 45-second clip. How many times does Diana Rossini make a noise? I'm sure no one else noticed this but me.
I will say I'll set the total at 9.5.
That's a lot. I mean, it's not that crazy, but it bugged me. Okay. All right, but what he's saying is interesting as well.
7 definitely broke the brotherhood because,
That's the one I don't understand.
The 7 dude that we don't talk about.
I know.
is crazy. Like out of anybody should talk, he should never grab a microphone and really talk Steeler business. Yeah. Because if we talking Steeler business, his ass is foul of all foul. Like that he's did is foul of all foul. He's not a good teammate. Won the Super Bowl with him, but the person, he's just not a good teammate. Like he knows that. Anybody in the Steeler building knows that. But we protected him because I've only won one Super Bowl. And that was my quarterback. So do I love my quarterback? Yeah, but is he a good person? No.
All right. Was it 4 or 5?
7.
Oh, 7.
But she did lay out there when it started getting interesting. I mean, that was good.
Again, listen to her contribution.
7 definitely broke the brotherhood because,
That's the one I don't understand.
Yeah, she needed to pop in. Hey, I'm about to go off on a very famous Hall of Famer. You best chime in.
Business.
I'm here too.
7 definitely broke the brotherhood because,
That's the one I don't understand.
And he's just like, yeah.
7 dude that we don't talk about.
I know.
Yeah, with the 7, what 7 did, what we don't talk about. Yeah, I know that too. Well, he's on the team. It's not interesting if you say it. It's interesting if he says it.
Business. That we don't talk about.
I know.
Yeah, I know. I know. Shush. He's going off on Ben Roethlisberger. He's mad and swearing. Hello. Shush.
She's going to send you another pastry package. You better watch it.
Well, I mean, obviously this is because she's a woman. It's the only. I wouldn't call anyone else. My McAfee insults from earlier were based on his. I didn't want to do it almost because he didn't have a vagina. I usually save my insults for that.
You've upset John now, by the way. He hasn't said anything.
Good.
It's crazy. Like out of anybody should talk, he should never grab a microphone and really talk Steeler business. Yeah. Because if we talking Steeler business,
Yeah. Why? Shush. 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 You know, John?
He's mad.
He is.
Well,
he's throwing it. He's pouting, is what he's doing.
I'm gonna recuse myself for a while.
Don't do that.
I'm just gonna sit here. Just sitting here.
Don't do that. Pouting.
Not a
Feelings hurt.
Now you've done it.
Feeling low. Why me?
We'll be right back.
Bluebird. Get it? Because you're feeling blue.
Oh, yeah.
Time to lose myself in the kitchen. Shrimp scampi. I'm a foodie. Take me away, sweet cooking.
Who's coming up next?
Happy place.
All right.
You're not funny.
I do appreciate John trying to get us into break here, though.
That should be what you do. You should just that should be what you
You're
do
not
now.
funny.
When you're pouting, you should just be like, whenever I make a joke, you should go, "You're not funny."
You're not funny at all.
All right.
I'm not funny. It's amusing.
All right. We'll be back in just
like
a moment. Phil, I don't doubt that.
I don't like you at all. My wife doesn't like you. My family doesn't like you.
Oh, it was
There you go.
Starting to come
Well, he
out.
already knew about my wife. That's not a shock to him.
Why don't you like his wife is gonna like me? Come on.
What about the boys?
Oh,
the
boys,
boys.
think he's the bee's knees. They
The
think he's
boys.
awesome.
The boys wouldn't care about me at all. It's his wife that's not going to like me. Of course, she's not going to like me. I make fun of him.
Yeah.
All right. Phil Perry will be here in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
mean, I'm not.
You barely even go off any ramps.
It has nothing to do with ramps. It's not freestyle.
They're not going fast.
You effing child.
The Alpine skiing, they're flying.
Full contact, tight
No,
turns.
they're not touching each other.
When I was
Hardy on this.
when I was BMX racing,
Look at these loads of lard that are in it.
When I
They're
was
just fats, little. Look at how little that guy, little fat.
low center of gravity. I was BMX racing while you were doing Miami hoppers and walking around with your skateboarding friends trying to do tricks for each other because you're a bunch of children.
We're
this
showing
is
off for the-
competition.
It's called getting chicks. It's called doing a cherry picker in front of your favorite lady. A cherry picker, which it was a trick I could do. Even Phil is reacting to the guy who won. Look at little fatso.
Little soft looking. He's not doing a whole lot for this discussion. I'm not really all that aware of either sport.
Well, I'm pretty.
But
I'm
if
pretty
this is
knee-deep
if
in
this
all
is
of them.
this guy looks like he won a medal of some sort.
Yeah, and he also looks like
could easily be an Austrian.
He also
plumber.
looks like the equipment manager for the basketball team.
Right.
You don't-
So I'm going to side with Fred on this one.
Thank you, Phil.
They're wearing full pads underneath because it's such a it's
Wait,
like
they're wearing belly pads?
It's like a contact sport.
He
yeah,
needs
they're
a
wearing-
fat suit
they're
to
wearing
get down the mountain?
Yeah, like the rib girdle.
He should crash at 30 miles an hour. My God.
Oh, 30 miles.
Oh, these guys are catching a little air.
Yeah, little.
It's not about catching air. It's about speed, idiot.
And look at how they have to stop. They have to fall on their bottoms.
Yeah.
It's kind of embarrassing.
They were stretching out to try and reach the finish line
So
first.
if you're stopping by falling on your bottom, it means that you're not going fast enough for it to hurt. The alpine skiing looks like horrible. The alpine skiing looks like
the downhill. You mean like just the single rider? Like
Yeah,
get
yeah,
down?
yeah.
Oh yeah, that to me that's insanity.
Well, see, that's what I saw that early. I haven't seen any of the Winter Olympics. This is the first time because Nick finally got on the ball, put this thing on television for us. But I saw the alpine ski. It's the first thing I ever saw from the Winter Olympics this year. So it's been 4 years since I've seen any of this. The alpine skiing, it looks like they're just going down ice.
Well, so that has been described as whoever slows down the least wins.
Sure.
If you just point yourself down the hill, you can win, but there's a chance you're going to die.
No, but
So
you've got to
whoever
get through
s-
those things.
Whoever breaks the least is going to end up winning the race.
Well, that's the
this
thing.
requires some cunning and some strategy and some,
And
jostling.
and some, midsection fat.
Padding.
And also, then you should love it, Tubby.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Now you've upset him. Lindsey Vonn, by the way, broke her leg in like 3 places, going about 70 down the mountain.
There were people reacting to that saying it was an absolute travesty that she was allowed to participate in the first place. Like, she wanted to go, she could go. Why is it that and Phil and I are going to get into our big fight that we had on the air once about Olympians who don't participate when called upon to do so.
Forgot about this.
There we
And
go.
whether or not they should be called heroic afterwards, Simone Biles.
Yeah.
Phil and I got into a big dust up on the air about that.
That was the problem with the Simone Biles thing was calling her heroic. If she doesn't want to participate, she
Which
has
I
no
don't think I
obligation.
did.
You absolutely did. That was the genesis of the argument. She deserved to be called a hero and that she already won by tapping out. I said, no.
Hardy and I talked about this.
Okay. We're going to have, I guess I'll have to go back and
Hardy
check it.
and I talked about this. The thing with Simone Biles was this: if she doesn't, my thing was if she decides not to compete, she just shouldn't compete. If she's not mentally ready and she doesn't want to do the stuff that could break her neck, absolutely
fine.
But there's, it's a very loose definition of hero that you kind of pussied out.
Then she is a champion for doing that. No, if she somehow sprained her wrist and couldn't do it, with people saying that is heroic and that is she's already a champion. No, you got hurt and you can't go. It's still a physical activity, and I'm not saying that a mental injury is any less than a physical injury, but you don't celebrate people just because they got injured.
What I'm learning about Hardy is that this hasn't bothered him at all for like 2 years.
Now, what bothered me
because he remembers every detail of everything.
What bothered me was getting the text from someone, one of your coworkers, afterward, not mansplaining it to me, but womansplaining to me how I didn't fully grasp the concept of a mental injury and how I could be directed toward an editorial that she did that would somehow explain it to me.
Did you give her your years of recovery that maybe you had some insight into that person?
No, I believe I left it at, I don't need you to explain anything to me, really about anything, especially this.
Yeah.
But thanks for the offer.
I think we all have our own knowledge of all these things as humans.
The argument that I loved the most between me and you on TV was Jared Goff v. Drake May. That was a good one, too. We get into it every once in a while. We're not afraid to put on the gloves.
It wasn't Jared. It wasn't Jared Goff v. Drake May. It was the fact that he did it preseason before the start of this season. Where do you think he had Jared Goff ranked as a quarterback in the league?
9th?
Lower.
Way lower.
Please.
He had him like 15 or 16.
18, I think.
18. Oh, I thought it was 15
that wouldn't
or
surprise
16.
me. And you know what? Probably should be even lower.
There you go. Now let's get started.
Hello. But nonetheless, there you go.
He'll be
Phil
better this year,
Perry's
though.
here.
He'll be better.
Do you know? I was talking to Hardy about this off the air. I can't wait till the Patriots go into Detroit. I really that will settle a lot of debate.
You got to figure Thanksgiving, right?
I want to see. I think they have a great defense. I think the Patriots do. There's no question about it. I think they have a really good defense. Say they don't get Max Crosby. Say they tweak some things, and we'll get into the Max Crosby thing. I want your opinion on that. Say they tweak some things and they add and subtract and things happen. And it's basically the same defense, which is excellent.
Yep.
I want to see them up against that Detroit offense. I do. Because I don't know if they didn't see anything like that this year.
Yeah,
so I would like to see them. Are you going to give me Buffalo? Because I don't think Buffalo's as good as that.
I just don't think Detroit's what it was. This past year for Detroit was not what it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
I'll give you why it's going to be different because they got, and I'm not even that big a Lions fan, but they got screwed with late retirements and injuries on
their
the
offensive line was a mess.
I'm guessing
they need players this offseason or else it'll be a mess again.
And I'm guessing that they are going to. Their entire focus this offseason is going to be improving that offensive line. Just by that, I'm going to guess that it's better. Just like I'm going to guess the Patriots' offensive line is going to be better by nature of attacking it this offseason. If they get that under control, they won 9 games with that offensive line.
Yeah.
If they get that under control, that offense is because it was still good, but it will be elite again. Go ahead.
Is there? And I am a huge Patriots fan, Phil. Did the Patriots defense this season face a team that had 4 impact players at skill positions like Detroit has?
I don't know.
I mean, well, one great wide receiver, one very good wide receiver, and a deep threat. Theoretically, a tight end if he's healthy in Laporta and Jahmyr Gibbs. Did the Patriots defense face anything like that against anyone all season, including playoffs?
Well, no. I'm going to answer for him. No, but there's not many teams like that.
Right.
Well, again, that's
why that particular matchup to me is fascinating because the Lions defense, they can't improve it that much. That's always going to be the weak link. So the Patriots should be able – it should be like – hopefully not the same outcome, but it should be like that Washington-Detroit divisional series game that the over got hit by halftime. That should be a real – I would love to see the Patriots defense against that offense line, that Lions offense. That's all. I think that will be in Detroit a very difficult game to win. I think that it will be but fascinating because it's strength on strength. And I think that will be great. It would be like seeing the Rams in the Super Bowl. You know, not the Lions offense might not be that good, but like the Rams in the Super Bowl. Strength on strength. That probably would have been a better Super Bowl, right? Patriots would have been able to put up some points theoretically.
Yes.
The Rams would have aired it out. Mm-hmm. Stafford's a million times better than Darnold. It would have been great. And by the way, it's a good thing that May didn't win that MVP for the league. Oof. Getting out of that Super Bowl.
That would have been horrible.
It would have been bad.
Don't you agree, Phil?
It would have been a bad look.
It would have been, I think the way it would have been spun would have been, wow, look at this Seahawks defense. They went up against the MVP of the league and they made him look like, a JV quarterback.
It would have been spun partially that way had it not been for the previous 2 games also that May played where he did not look.
And by the way, not everyone knows it's a regular. You'd be awful surprised how many people don't know it's a regular season award, including sports talk radio callers who you would think would be the people that would know. I'm guessing 80% of the population doesn't quite grasp that it's a regular season award, and that might be high.
Which is hilarious.
But
yeah, I mean, I still think he deserved it, and so I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have said anything else other than he had an MVP performance in the regular season and the postseason.
I'm just saying
the entire offense was different.
I'm saying the optics for the NFL. I'm sure that they just are happier that it worked out the way it did. Okay. So just by nature of when you come on the show, we've talked to many people who've watched the Super Bowl many, many times. How many times have you watched the Super Bowl?
Just twice.
Good. Because I think the third time
Yeah, I don't know.
Get you a little too in the weeds.
What you're getting out of it.
You're getting too much.
What's the matter? You didn't think it was a good game? You don't want to watch it more than that?
No, you just do the requisite watch back, and that's it.
I think just in life, sometimes it's better to not overanalyze to a degree, and maybe twice is good.
The reason why we're bringing this up is Andrew Callahan sat in that seat after watching it 3 times,
and he was
full of opinions.
And he
had
was
a lot of things going on.
He was very fired up because, and I'm not asking. I know Callahan and you. Everyone gets along. Everyone's great. Callahan knows a lot about football. He's a great guest. We have him co-host the show sometimes. So I'm not asking you to. This is not you versus Callahan, because you might agree. But Callahan came here with a head of steam about Will Campbell being unfairly blamed for the Super Bowl. That Will Campbell played poorly, sure, but it was not Will Campbell. It was a Josh McDaniels problem, and you can't put it on Campbell. He also said Campbell wasn't hurt, but whatever. But I don't know.
It came down to coaching. They didn't come up with enough protection schemes. They didn't do enough adjustments. And they really hung everybody out to dry in that offense by not doing a better job.
But
coaching.
Here's why watching it 3 times I think hurts them. Is because, sure, I've heard a lot of people say McDaniels didn't make the right adjustments. And just by watching it, you could tell that they were out-coached. But that doesn't take away Will Campbell's deficiencies as a left tackle in that scenario. But go ahead. You talk. You're the
listen, they're all factors. I would say the way in which the offensive line was physically beaten was problem number 1. So that obviously includes Will Campbell. I went back, I watched, I tracked pressures. I didn't think he had 14, but I did think he had more than 10. I thought the number was closer to 12.
He said 8.
A rough day. Okay, that's fine. To me, was the quarterback at all impacted by what was happening off of your assignment? So if he has to step up to avoid that, to me, counts as pressure.
I agree.
So to me, it was probably about a dozen. And listen, if you have a differing opinion, that's fine. But that's how I saw it. So that's a problem. Jared Wilson was a problem. Morgan Moses was a problem. Yes. That right side of the line, they had maybe more impactful pressure come off of that side because you got multiple turnovers coming off the right side with your 2 veteran guys that have been probably your best offensive linemen all year.
Those are still
Moses and Owenu.
And those are the ones that are the strangest to me watch unfold in real time because presumably Drake can see those and it caused him not as much trouble as the pressure from the left, but there were a couple of instances in that one game alone where you've got guys coming at you, presumably, well within your vision or periphery, and you wasn't able to do anything about it.
Well, and some of those are difficult because if they're free runners, and if it's a defensive back who is running a 4-4 and has timed up the snap, like that, even if you see it, it's hard to avoid those. And I thought something Seattle did a tremendous job of was, and I talked to some of their defensive linemen about this before the game during the week. They knew that when he escapes, he likes to escape vertically between the either A gap or sometimes the B gap, but it's oftentimes the A gap on either side of the center. And so there was nowhere for him to go because whoever was pressuring, they had the middle covered. So all of those plays during the regular season where he's able to step up and then bolt through the middle, and he actually did it once or twice in this game.
He did it once,
but the game was over by that point. Right. They did a great job of making sure, no, we're not going to let you escape the way you like to.
So it wasn't May being hesitant to run. It was that
he had nowhere to go.
He had nowhere to go.
That's my opinion of it. Now, some quarterbacks, Caleb Williams, will escape backwards out of the pocket and to the side.
He'll run backwards, throw the ball 60 yards.
Very impressive when he's able to do it. But that's just not the way that May is wired, I think. And I think that's good coaching, quite frankly. Yeah, because you can work your way into some 20-yard losses if you do it the other way.
Exactly. No, you can't have any issue with the way May handled his scrambles this year in picking up yards. I mean, it was quite impressive.
And here's where I would mention the coaching, and this is a significant factor too. Now, I don't think you can give Will Campbell help on every snap. So people who say if you leave him on an island, if you give him help on every snap, it's really creating deficiencies in your route distribution and the types of plays you can run.
But also, even if you have to give someone help on every play, it means that person is not competent at their position. Like if you have a left tackle, the reason left tackle is a premier position is so you don't have to do that.
Right.
There's only so many people in the world that can man that position, and that's why they're highly paid, and that's why you take them number 4 in the draft. Go ahead.
No, so on the other side of the line, though, where I'm talking about the pressures and the disaster pressures coming off of that right side, that is where I look at coaching a little bit. Not to say that when you have a free runner running by you, which I thought Morgan Moses did at least once, and you just don't stop him because your focus is on someone else, that to me is a little bit of a problem. But the free runners, sometimes that's just going to happen. They can bring more guys than you can block. So I don't even necessarily put that on Josh McDaniels. What I look at in terms of the scheme, which I find curious, and I would love to get a few more answers on this as we continue to sort of dig into it in the aftermath, where are the quick answers for your passer, right? Did he understand, and they saw the same blitz like half a dozen times. Does he understand where to go with the football if that free runner is coming? And I thought there were a couple of plays late in the game, and you actually heard Chris Collinsworth, I think, at one point say, these are some of the best throws that he's made tonight. And they're like little swing passes into the flat. And it's because he understood pressure was coming from one side. They didn't have enough people to block it, and he got the ball out of his hands. To not be able to do that consistently in the most important game of the season, I think it is fair to look at the scheme and the X's and O's and say, why were there no answers there? So it's an amalgamation. There's a variety of different factors here. So I would put the left side of the line specifically in getting physically overwhelmed, which impacts you in the run game too. And this isn't a team that you necessarily want to try to run the football a ton against because they're so good against the run. But they couldn't run the football, and that allows Seattle to play those 2 high safety looks that they love so much, which makes it really hard to throw the football down the field. Then you get down on the scoreboard, and they're still sitting in that look because you could never run it. The way coaches would describe it, you have to run them out of those looks, right? So force one of those 2 safeties to get down in the box to stop the run because you're running so effectively. Then it makes it easier for you to throw. There's easier access to throw down the field. But they got down a couple of scores. Now you're looking to throw it down the field because you're looking for explosive gains because you're looking to make up for lost time. And it's almost an impossible thing to do given the way they were protecting.
All right. Phil Perry's here for another break. We can talk about off-season strategies for all of that. We'll get into that in just a moment. Time to move on to the real fun, which, in my opinion, is the offseason. Jimmy Stewart makes fun of me. He says team building, as if it's any less relevant than anything else. I got news for you, Jimmy. None of this matters. Ha-ha, how about that? The games, none of it. It's all a way to distract us until we die.
Brutality.
But nonetheless. So here we are, the Patriots. Now, there's interesting talk. So you've obviously are aware Max Crosby has told Tom Brady and the Vegas team that he does not want to play for them anymore. It is believed that it will take a late first, early second, in addition to something else, but who cares? The Patriots have enough to get Max Crosby, but it would take probably their first round pick, and then who cares what else? Would you, if you're the Patriots, now Max Crosby will be 29, would you give up a first round pick or future assets to get someone like Crosby?
In a heartbeat. The question would be how many. If it's just the 31st pick and maybe, whatever, is a third rounder included, is a fourth round,
the thing I saw was, which the Patriots don't have, but I'm sure the other things could be used, was a first round pick and then a young offensive player, which they wouldn't have one Vegas wanted because they wouldn't want Henderson because they used all that draft capital to get Genty. And I don't know if you Pop Douglas or Kyle Williams moves the needle.
Probably not doing it for him.
So, and you're not giving up any of your young defensive talent for Max Crosby. So, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But you would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I would. I don't know if they would. The idea of it is tremendous. If you can acquire Max Crosby, you might have the best defensive line in football with Christian Barmore and Milton Williams, and who knows, are they able to keep Kayvon Chase on? I think the issue for this offseason and moving forward for them is how much money do you have earmarked, for Christian Gonzalez and Drake May? And is that going to impact you in terms of adding a big ticket item this offseason? And they have the money to do something like Crosby and pay Gonzalez and pay. You could figure it all out. Are you also going to try to get a receiver in free agency? Do you want to add a weapon for Drake May? Because Alec Pierce is out there. He's a deep threat. Drake May likes to throw the ball down the field. That's a guy who might make $20 million, $22, $23 million a year as arguably the best free agent receiver in this free agent class. George Pickens is out there too.
He's going to get tagged, right?
He could very well get tagged. I also
you want to
look
bring
at him
Pickens into this locker room?
I was just going to say, I don't know if what his market will be. I'm sure it'll be strong enough if he makes it to free agency, but I really don't know whose would be stronger, his or Pierce's, just because of everything Pickens brings to the table from a personality standpoint. So that to me is the factor: is how much are you willing to spend other people, not named Drake May, not named Christian Gonzalez, because if you're stashing away a bunch of cash for those two moving forward, and you're going to have to, does that inhibit your ability to make some of the moves that we'll be talking about this offseason?
I'm glad you brought up the locker room there for a second, Fred, because there's this video, and I'm sure we've all heard it. I'm going to try and grab it here real quick. But as the guys were coming off the field from the game, and Vrabel was making a point to say to certain players over and over again, we're going to be pissed together. And he stops one and
what? We're gonna what?
No, we are going to be angry together as a team.
Yeah.
We're going to be angry about this together. We're going to be pissed off as a team, right? It's all of us. What did that mean to you? What do you think he was saying, and who was he saying it to?
I want your take on this because I'm confused as to where you're going.
I think he was saying it specifically to defensive players.
Okay.
He's saying, look, we're going to come in here, we're going to be pissed off, but we're going to be pissed off not at each other, we're going to be pissed off together.
Oh, that's an interesting read of it.
There was an interesting moment that they showed during the game. I think it was on the last turnover, the interception as it got recorded, where they showed the bench, which is obviously Patriots defensive players, and they were like, oh, God.
We got to go back out there. No, actually, it was keeping scores here.
Yeah, I mean, we are doing pretty much everything that we've been called upon to do here. We need you guys to get over the 50. And instead, this happens.
That happens to teams.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
it's happened here.
12 just
in the recent past.
It comes across.
We got to be pissed together. Okay, you know what I mean? 307 days. That's all it was. We got a lot more days ahead of us. Okay, you hear me? Hey, 307 days. That's all we got. We've just played 307 days. We got a lot more football left in our program. Look at me. Appreciate you. Okay? So glad you're here. This sucks. But we got to be pissed together. You hear me? Bryce?
There you go. So,
hey, Woodsy, come on. Woodsy, I know when we picked you up, you didn't think we'd be here, buddy. I'm sorry. I appreciate you. Look at me. Hey. Appreciate you playing your ass off, okay? We got to make sure that whatever happens in there, that we're pissed together, okay? One team pissed.
Oh, that's a great point, Hardy.
Yeah.
It is a great point.
No, man, and he's pointing to the locker room as the guys are walking down the hall. What happens in there? We got to be pissed off.
There was one offensive player. I've seen the video. Morgan Moses was the only offensive player that we saw walk by. The rest of them were defensive players.
It's a really interesting point, and I wonder if that's what he meant, because he's been a player and he's been in locker rooms where I'm sure that type of thing has happened, especially big game. And you look at one side of the ball and say, "But boy, were you carrying your weight? Were you doing your part?" Now, if I'm a Patriots defender, I'm not pushing that all that far. I mean, they did, for the most part. It was, how many points offensively did they give up? They gave up 22, I think. They had the pick 6, right? Yeah. Seattle did. So
pick 6, but then Drake May fumbled and
gave away some easy ones too. Yep. So they also gave up, I think, 4.5 yards per carry to the guy that was named Super Bowl MVP.
They had held them to field goals.
Sam Darnold was able to extend some drives. I'm just saying,
they held them to field goals for 3 quarters.
They did.
You know, and if you're a defensive player,
it's unfortunate it's not a 3-quarter game. I would just look at the defense and say, they have a right to be pissed if they were pissed, no question. I wouldn't take it too far, because that was not their best game either. Okay. That's a mediocre offense. They should have been able, if they were hoping to win that game, they had to shut out, and they didn't.
I'm chomping at the bit here because I got exciting things. So I when we were talking about free agency, I brought up a list of 2026 free agents. And it has predictions for each free agent. Rasheed Walker, an offensive tackle from the Packers, they have going to the Patriots. But more exciting for the fantasy football players, Kyle Pitts signing with the Patriots.
Interesting.
Kyle Pitts, who's been very... Mel Kiper said he was like a generational player. He said, I'd take him number 1 overall.
I remember that.
But
he went like 4th overall, right, to Atlanta?
He's like a physical freak. Yeah, he went in the top 5 to Atlanta. Like, he's a physical freak, but he's never really had a big year. That would spice things up a little bit. You bring Kyle Pitts in here.
Sure.
You probably have to pay him, but that's exciting. Would you move through trades, free agency, or the draft? So You're building for now, you're saying, right, is what you're saying.
Well, listen, I just think Crosby is that good, and the odds of you not hitting on the 31st pick are that real, that making that swap, to me, is a reasonable one. I do look at this team, though, and this is a group that has said we want to build through the draft. Are they going to be all that hot to part with a first-round pick, even if you know what you're getting in return is an all-pro caliber player? So I think you do have to be smart about it. I just look at the expenses that are going to be on your books in the very near future, and I think that's going to impact how they operate this offseason. So if you look at it and they have whatever they have in terms of available cap space, they're certainly in the top half of the league. They're not at the top of the league the way they were going into last offseason. They have the money to do a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if it's less, if what they end up doing in reality is less than what people are anticipating, because they have to pay Christian Gonzalez and they might have to pay Drake May $70 million a year.
It's $100 million
next season.
$100 million between those two guys. That's not out of touch, right?
No, that's probably about where it's going to be starting whenever Drake May signs his extension.
Would they extend Gonzalez this offseason?
This is the first time he's eligible to do it. So if you want him around and you want to eventually, actually save yourself some money in the long term, it would be right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you could do some things to get under where you are right now in terms of cap. Like, the cap doesn't really. It really is all about the cash. guys like Stephon Diggs, like there are going to be some hard decisions for them when they're looking back at this season and looking at these guys that really helped them get to where they got and saying, is it the right move to keep him around? I know we just got to a Super Bowl because this guy played a key role, but is it what's best for the team to keep Stephon Diggs at I think it's a $21 million base salary this coming season when he's 33 years old? He basically averaged 50 yards a game this season. He was a 1,000-yard receiver, which is great. 21 games, 1,100 yards, 55 yards or so per game.
Right. And
for a guy who plays in the slot and isn't really going to be able to block.
And he didn't do a lot in the playoffs.
So that's a tough one, though, because everyone looks at him in that locker room and even on the coaching staff and says, boy, what an ad he was for us this year. Just the competitiveness that he brought to the table and how he helped our young quarterback. There's a lot there, and there's a real relationship there between Diggs and a lot of people, important people in that building. But I think you got to be cold and calculating, and you can't get married to the people that played well for you this past season if you don't think they're going to give you the same thing next year. So, there's moves like that. Even the offensive line, those are tough ones too for me because the guys that are maybe most likely to move off the offensive line are the right tackle and the center just because of where they're at in their careers. And Morgan, they're both under contract for next year, so I don't know if either one's going to go. But are you really willing to move on from them when maybe they were your two most consistent offensive linemen all year this year?
Yeah.
And if that's the spot that you need to get better, is that a great way to get better?
Yeah, they both overperformed. For your edification, this guy here with the free agents is the Patriots going hog wild on offensive linemen. He's got him taking tackles, guards all over the place. He's got this guy going, Patriots are just redoing the whole offensive line.
That tackle from Green Bay apparently is the best tackle that's going to be available in free agency.
Which means he's not so great.
If the Packers don't tag him.
Yeah.
But he was the starting, but he was technically the starting left tackle.
He was. And he's,
those usually don't get cut loose.
That's true.
The great ones. Yeah, he's a guy who vastly exceeded expectations. I think he was a 5th-round pick back in the day, so it might be one of the reasons why they're willing to part with him. That scheme, that West Coast scheme, is one where it can make life a little bit easier on your offensive lineman with all the play action stuff and all the stretch running that they don't always ask as much of their left tackles as some other true drop back passing teams do. So at this point, would it surprise you guys, though, given the way Vrabel was talking about Will Campbell, if they moved on from him and got somebody else to play left tackle? It would surprise me.
Yes, it would be a big surprise. But it would not surprise me. I think the best thing for the team is to draft a tackle because you're going to need one eventually. I mean, you draft a tackle, and then if he's in the building, it makes things a lot easier for you. Because if he shows out in camp and you believe, like, okay, this guy has more ideal size, he's more suited for the position, maybe he won't be the worst. Maybe he'll be in the middle. He won't have the worst game of any offensive lineman, according to some metrics.
Will Campbell was in the middle for like 3 months.
No, I know. But then at the end,
and then he saw some really great, and he was not 100%. He saw some great pass rushers, and it didn't look good.
And he played some different teams.
My problem is that's 4 teams. I mean, you get 1 or 2. You can say 1 or 2. You face 4
I thought
defenses.
He was okay against Denver. I thought he was okay.
Well, Denver was
It was a blizzard.
And it was also a ridiculous game. I mean, come on, Stidham. Oof.
No, I'm just saying in terms of his responsibility.
I understand, but the Patriots,
has nothing to do with Jarrett Stidham.
The Patriots, well, in a way, it does because they went into neutral at halftime and said we're not going to even try to move the ball, which was brilliant.
Yeah,
they said. So I would imagine things for the offense got a lot easier when they were willing not to throw and to eat it on 3rd down and punt to the middle of the field, knowing that Stidham. They had a quarterback on the other side of the field that was incapable of getting that team into the end zone.
They probably should have punted on 3rd down a few times in that game. I would have.
That wouldn't have been ridiculous. I mean, that was essentially the strategy.
Only bad things could happen if you had the ball in that game.
I mean, that game has got a bunch of people talking about having AFC conference championship games at neutral sites because the second half of that game was so ridiculous. And Vrabel was brilliant in playing that conservative, but the offense got a little bit of a break.
They didn't have a ton of true drop back situations.
Unless you were getting hit with the ball in your hand and you had to hang on to the football. I'm not giving you a lot of credit. All right, Phil Perry, thank you so much for everything.
Thank you guys.
This season.
You guys are the best. Appreciate you.
Thank you. We really are the best. We will talk to you this offseason, as obviously football never stops except for a couple weeks in July. All right. We'll be back. Thank you, Phil, for everything. NBC Sports Boston. Here are the headlines.
Essentials.
You might know him for The Ringer. He wrote Fargo, Rock City, and that book with the cereal on it. I forget what it's called. He has a new book out called Football, and I read the New York Times review, the failing New York Times review of it. And here is some stuff from the review. Football is a limb, Klosterman argues, that society is eventually going to cut off. The game will never completely disappear in the same way that you can still hear jazz on NPR and you can still smoke Lucky Strikes inside a casino. The reasons are myriad, but it will boil down to two. The first is straightforward. Klosterman thinks advertisers will come to their senses and realize that spending enormous sums for 30 seconds of mostly ignored exposure is a bad investment. And the second requires more teasing out, but is put simply, horse racing receded from the American imagination because people lost their close everyday connection to horses. Something similar will happen to football. We're already losing our organic connection to it. It's part because, kids don't play football. And he also blames the NCAA for a series of bad decisions, the end of traditional conferences, the introduction of the transfer portal enabling players to make huge amount of money. College, so much in American life, is losing its weird local grassroots aspect that gave it its flavor. Psychological investment in the game is bound to ebb. So that is his arguments. Because we are right now seeing a league just put up double freedom rockets to everything. I talked about how people are suggesting that conference championship games should be moved to neutral sites. And you would go, well, they'd never do that. Well, they would do it if they could make money.
Yeah. The one thing I would say, though, the psychological attachment to it, if kids aren't there, going out and playing backyard football anymore, kids'
It's tackle football that he's talking about.
Yeah, but kids' psychological attachments now are to the things that they can consume on their phones for 8 to 10 seconds at a time. So if football or anything else wants to, have that attachment, they're going to continue to be all over social media. So that may not be as much of a factor as the other things.
But if you
the horse racing metaphor is interesting, and I think it would hold up to scrutiny. But I wonder what people are going to be psychologically attached to anymore.
Kids play sports still, so they do. Not every kid's on a phone constantly. High schools still have teams that are, there's tens of thousands of sports
fewer and
teams.
fewer. There's only about 100 kids playing sports now in the entire state of Massachusetts.
That's true.
And they're playing, and it's the same 100 kids playing all the sports.
Well, then there's 98 that aren't in my house because even my daughter, who doesn't even like sports, is playing basketball.
Is she psychologically attached to it?
The point is this: you're more likely to be into a game if you played it, unlike Wallach. But also, he's right. Like, what if the whole middle of the country that doesn't have NFL franchises just starts gradually losing interest in the college game because it just becomes so divided? Like, USC's coming to, Iowa's playing at USC. Or Rutgers is playing at USC.
Yeah.
It's as far as it could possibly be away from you. There's no regional rivalry. I've said this on the air before. This Klosterman book, I don't even know it's out. I've said this on the air a million times. Every time these leagues get all feeling them.
He's playing Stanford.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, John, yes. Is that horse racing, baseball, and boxing. If you go back not even that long ago, less than 100 years ago, it was horse racing, baseball, and boxing. That's what all these great writers like Grantland and everything wrote about. And in the course of less than 100 years, that flipped on its head. They used to have to do barnstorming tours for football. Like the professional teams would play college all-star teams and stuff. Like that, they did that in the 50s. Not people were alive during that, So we'll see. They're getting very hot on themselves. What is fat pigs will get slaughtered? It's a little bit of that. Keep that in mind.
Grantland also wrote about golf. If you believe the legend of Bagger Vance, he shows up to cover that big match.
John's remaining silent.
No, what he said was factual.
You were looking at him, and I just thought you were going to talk.
No, I was told that it's time to go.
Oh,
so
well,
and you did shush him.
Shh. All right. That'll do it for us. Everyone have a great